So, which one of your kids are your favorite? Really? For anybody who watches this video, I'm Rocket Chevalier. I'm with my grandmother, Joann Chevalier.
Joann.
What was your name before you got married?
Joann Morgan.
Morgan?
Mm-hmm.
And you were born when?
I was born December the 15th, 1932 at Greendale, Ohio.
Greendale? How far is that from here?
That's from, it's probably 30 miles, I might imagine,
Really?
from here. It's 12 miles from New Lexington to Straitsville, and the Straitsville is about 3 miles from where I lived. For this, the house is there somewhere.
And I'll be taking video here when you show something.
Let's see.
That way I can show it
This
on the
is the
screen.
house I was born in.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
the
amazing you
house
got a photo of that.
That's the house I was born in.
Now, how many bedroom was that?
Let's see. Well, it had 2, and then Mom used one for a dining room till older kids got married, and then we had 3.
Oh, okay. How many kids?
She had 11 kids.
Wow.
I had 10.
And where are
My
you
grandma
in
had
that?
13.
Where are you in the ranking of like the oldest to youngest?
I'm next to the youngest that Mom had.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So, then Dad, they were married 50 years, and she died, and Dad married his neighbor, and then he had a kid at 76 years old.
Dang.
He goes into the hospital to see the baby, and he just started walking on in, and they said, well, wait a minute, the grandparents aren't allowed in. He said, I'm the father. They both fell off their seat.
Oh, my Lord.
76 years old.
Oh, my Lord.
See, this is the last 4 kids Mom had. This is me.
Okay.
And this is me and holding my little baby sister.
And that's you holding the baby?
That's me holding my sister Betty. She's still living, but she don't know nobody. This is me when I started at school.
How old are you there? She has 39, 87?
I was 7. I was almost. I would have turned. I was born in December, so
Yeah.
it went past my age before I got started school. Let's see what I got here first. Let's see.
Is this the same house?
That's the house, the same house I was born in. That's a better picture. That dog got killed with my hand on its back like that.
Oh, yeah? Is there a person right there?
That's a chicken. Steps up to the back porch, and that's a chicken.
Okay.
This is a tub she caught water in to wash clothes, and we take a bath. And
that house is still standing today?
No, you can't even tell where it was at.
Oh, okay.
Now this is most of my brothers and sisters. Well, this is the bigger picture of it. This baby's me.
And who's that holding you?
That's my mom and dad there, and this is my mom and dad when they got older.
Where at?
This is when about 5 months before Mom died.
July 65, huh?
Yeah. Let's see. That's me and my dog. My aunt gave me to Cleveland, Ohio. And this is, I cut this out of a bigger picture, and that's me when I was a baby.
Wow.
So I'll just go back this way.
Brother?
Let's see. Yeah. I don't know if you could pick this up or not. See this oil derrick? That's oil well my dad pumped. That's what kind of job he had.
Oh, okay.
And he walked to work most of the time, unless it was too far, and then he drove the car.
Now is that...
Rattler was the dog's name.
Rattler?
And he got killed with my hand on his back. There was a
where the name Rattler come from?
It was a real narrow road, more narrow than this. Got out in the middle of the road. He was hungry, and I told him to get him something to eat. We went to go cross the road, and I looked up, there was a coal truck in our face.
Oh my.
What do I do? Go back this way or this way with the road real narrow?
Right.
So I decided to dart on because he's going to get us either way.
Yeah.
I darted on across the road and looked back there and laid my dog.
Oh.
And Mom come running out, said that truck hit you too.
Oh, did?
I was so scared that I didn't know it. I could have gotten killed.
So where did the name Rattler come from?
There's a story behind this. There was some people used to come to our house of an evening, and they had kids. That they had that dog when it was a pup. Well, they would take it home. Next morning, you heard something on the porch. There was that pup on our porch.
Okay.
Well, did that for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And finally he said, Miss Morgan, we're going to have to give you that dog. It likes your kids, it don't like my kids. So we raised the dog till it got killed.
Oh, we daggone.
And that was like a member of the family.
Huh? How long did you have the dog, you think?
Oh, we probably have him 12 years.
Oh, wow. Long time.
Yeah,
then.
a long time. He was like a member of the family. Now, this is where I went to school in the 2nd grade. This is me right there.
The big hair?
Yeah, with the curly hair.
Yeah.
If you don't find anybody with curly hair, that's me.
Well, Peggy's got curly hair. Big hair.
Mom had 7 girls, so I was the only one got curly hair.
Wow.
Them's probably the biggest part of them's dead now.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember her name?
Yeah, Leo Sahoy. I got it here somewhere. Well, I say she's in the back.
Maybe it's buried.
It might be behind that picture. Leo Sahoy was her name.
There.
Yeah, there it is.
Where were the
I know they're down somewhere.
Yep.
And then this was a bigger grade. The same school, and this guy at Sieber Lehman, he taught me for 6 years.
Oh, okay.
And this is me.
Mm-hmm.
And this is my brother Jack. He hung his head so they wouldn't get his picture. And this is our bus driver. He could write with either hand. He could draw with either hand, or he could do it with both hands.
They call those people ambidextrous.
He could
go in between both hands.
And this is the high school I went to. It's down in Carbon Hill.
Wow.
And Gerald Duvall, and he was my teacher. And he's probably dead and gone. The school still standing, but it's their usual for apartment now.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. Huh. And this is me right here.
Oh, wow. Huh. I see a lot of Tammy in your photo. Like Gary's daughter, Tammy?
Yeah.
I see Tammy in the face.
Yeah.
Any idea how someone become a teacher at that era?
Well, he was I don't know, he was older than her. She taught the bigger kids. Mm-hmm. But these two is the only ones that taught me. There was another one, I don't see her picture. Jenny Leffler, I don't know where I put it.
What's this right here?
That's still standing, just like that.
What is it?
Only it's somebody's living in it.
Mm-hmm. What was it before? Or was it something before?
It was a schoolhouse.
Oh, okay.
And then they made apartments out of it after so long a time. Wow. There's me. And see, this is my brother Jack that about everybody thought we was twins.
Oh, okay.
He's 2 years older than me.
Huh.
But look I'm about as big as he is. See, she's dead, he's dead, and she's dead, and he's dead. And she's dead. She just died not very long ago.
Oh, okay.
But she was in a wreck with my mom and dad. A drunk guy hit him. She was on Mom's lap, and it threw her on the floor.
Oh.
She never got a scratch. Broke both mom's legs clear off, almost completely off.
Goodness.
I was 7 years old. I'd stayed with my sisters or I'd been in the wreck.
Yeah?
Yeah. So this is me as I grew up.
So what are these two? What's these here?
Yeah, I can't read it now. 92, I think that one says 92. And what's that in
So it's just an identification card?
That's where I had to sign up for a job that I didn't want.
Yeah?
I was back
Okay,
then.
I thought you had two N's in your in
Well,
Joann.
I added an N. It's not on my birth certificate.
So is it a legal change or is it just
It's not
you
legal. I just
you
added it so people wouldn't call me Joan.
Oh, okay.
See, Joan is spelled Joan.
No kidding.
So is Joann.
I can
on
see
my
how
birth
that would be
certificate.
annoying.
We will run into my birth certificate and I'll show you. Now as we go on over.
Hold on a second. Let me get this photo here. A couple of these in. Let's see.
I was 16.
16 years old. $42. I'm almost 42.
You know, back then I thought 40 was old.
Oh, I know it. I was talking to my neighbor.
Now it's young to me.
Yeah. I was just
I'm
talking to
87 now.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I was just talking to my neighbor, and he's in his mid-50s, and he was like, he's pointing to the other neighbor. He's like, he thinks I'm old. He's 30. I'm like, well, you are old, compared to, you know what I mean?
This is my mom and dad and all three of my brothers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, see, after mom died, dad remarried and then had another brother, but he's not in this. I don't think I got any picture. I got a picture of him over there.
Yeah.
Not here, not right here. This is the way we went swimming. There was a creek down the road from our house, and we went. See, this we lived in a house down here, and then we moved up here.
Uh-huh.
I lived there till we got married.
Huh.
This is old corn thing. We used to cut corn and then husk the corn,
Right.
and that's what that is.
Wow.
And there's new coats Mom bought me and Betty. I like red. She likes green.
Mm-hmm.
They got her the red coat and me the green coat.
Man.
And this one, they got me the green skirt
Mhm.
and the white blouse trimmed in green. Got her the red, and she had reddish cast in her hair.
Oh, dang.
They always got the wrong thing for me. This my brother's little boy had curly hair.
Oh, okay.
He's bullheaded now.
Oh, is he?
This was a big rock we was sitting on.
Oh, okay. Wow.
There's a lot of memories in this book. This was my brother's wife. That was before they got married.
Yeah.
There's pictures. I mean, this is it, and that's the same one, but this is not like this in the best. And then there's May at a Bible study. And there's May. This is Marty when he was a baby, and this is Robbie and Ricky, and Kathy holding him.
Oh, wow.
And that's
Yeah.
the bigger picture of it.
Huh. Oh, wait.
See these shoes?
Uh-huh.
I used to get them kind of shoes every time I get a pair of shoes. And finally, Dad said, "Won't you please get another kind of pair of shoes?" Them was called Saddle Oxfords.
Uh-huh.
And he got tired to look at them, and I finally had to go to a brown pair.
Oh.
And now this is me and my dad and my husband.
Mm-hmm.
I had Leonard didn't have a birth certificate, so we.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So just before his mom died, we went and got him one made.
Uh-huh.
Had we not, we couldn't have proved he was even born.
Wow.
They didn't have no record of him at all.
Was there an issue with that, with him getting Social Security or anything like that? Because I've heard of people
We didn't have any problem getting it
Really?
after we got his birth certificate. But I told him one day, we better go get your mom and dad.
Right.
Because they're the only proof we got that you was born.
Yeah.
Back then, you had your babies at home.
Yeah.
And so that's how we did it. We had to get down to where he started to school.
Mm-hmm.
His mom said he was born 1 year, and they didn't have nothing else, nothing to prove it.
Only based on her memory, that's it.
Or nothing. So we had to get downstairs at the courthouse where he started school and see what year it said he was born. And that's what we went on.
Wow.
Because his mom tried to say he was born another year. She had nothing to prove it.
Wow.
So whether he was or not, we don't know.
So that's his legal name is Charles?
No, his dad's name was Charles. His name was Leonard.
I see.
But see, we made that the 23rd of February, 1927, because there was no proof of his birth. Kathy didn't have a birth certificate. We had to make her one.
Wow.
That was like, think $4 then.
Yeah.
You think what that costs now? Probably $50.
No, probably. I'm sure it's not cheap.
That was 1927.
And when you were born, you got a birth certificate when you were born?
Yeah. Yeah, I got my birth certificate here. This is our marriage license. This we didn't take no. I took her as a witness, and you had to have two witnesses when you get married. And the preacher's son stood up with us as the other witness.
Huh.
That was down in New Straitsville, Ohio.
Wow.
See, I put these all in this album, so if anybody wants to know anything,
yeah, you can
his birth certificate, my birth certificate. No, this is our marriage license. This is our marriage license.
Yeah. That's a receipt for something.
And $1 for that. And then this is where I got my eyes checked. See, I got glaucoma. This is the house we was married in over at Straitsville.
Oh, okay.
See, I got a lot of things it's not just a memory up here. I got it where people can see it.
Ain't it weird how your memory says one thing and then you look at it and it's like, oh, what's going on, man? Am I losing it already?
Yeah. Now this is him when we first got married. Look what was in his mouth.
Of course, yeah.
This is a.
Now, did you ever smoke?
No.
No, never.
No. That's him. Pictures of him when he was younger. And this is me after we got married. I gained a few pounds.
Well, the kids will do it to you too, you know. But there's the same photo, ain't it?
That's just it. I took a bigger picture of it. This is his mom and dad. That would have been your grandpa.
Yeah, my great parents.
Grandma and grandpa. That was Corey and Pete. Well, Pete, his name was Charles, but everybody called him Pete.
Now, his pants, they don't have pockets, right?
Well, they probably do, but they're probably baggy. He always wore his pants kind of baggy.
Do you any idea what that is hanging?
Yeah, that's his watch. If you'd go to try to get that, he'd crack her fingers.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
That was Mainsville. Out from, you go right straight through New Lex and go on out that road. That's where Mainsville is.
Huh. I don't think I've ever heard of Mainsville.
There we are acting stupid. There's us and Peggy.
Now, was this a thing based in a movie, TV show, a book?
We was just acting stupid.
Just random goof, okay.
This is all three of our older kids. And the oldest one was 3. I had Peggy and March. Her and Ronnie's both 7 months babies. I had her and March and Ronnie in December the same year.
Wow, okay. Huh.
How often you see that happen?
Yeah.
Here he was working on the car. I went out there and hollered at him, "What do you want?"
How old were you when you were able to first hold a camera?
First held a camera.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, probably right on time we got married.
Really?
Uh-huh.
How old were you when you got married?
18.
18?
Uh-huh. I learned a lot through them years.
Now, did your parents, did they grow up more free-spirited or more hardcore? How would you put your parents?
Well, we lived on a farm, my family, and we had horses and cows and chickens and pigs and whatever. There was always something to do. If you said, "Mom, I ain't got nothing to do," she'd find something for you to do.
Yeah. But would you consider them strict at all?
Huh?
Your parents, were they strict at all?
Oh, strict. You don't know what strict is.
Yeah.
You got one whipping, you didn't want a second one.
Yeah.
And we didn't have alarm clock.
Okay.
You know how we got up? The rooster crowed at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
When you heard Mom hit that first step, before she gets the second one, you know you better get down that stairway.
Oh, my goodness.
When that rooster crowed, we knew it was 6 o'clock in the morning, time to roll out of bed.
Now, how would you and Leonard, would you consider yourselves strict or very lenient or somewhere in the middle? Where would you put yourself?
I was more lenient with my kids than
Leonard was.
I was, but I wanted them to learn things that I didn't learn at home. You know.
Okay. I wonder about that because I had a conversation with a coworker of mine yesterday about parents and how they change from one generation to another. Like my wife and we're extremely lenient, very liberal, right?
Yeah.
But our kids they're conservative, which is not a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny how that, because my dad, your son, conservative, and then I'm a liberal, and now I'm having conservatives. And it's like it's weird.
Yeah.
So I wondered about that with you and your parents.
Yeah, we all had chores to do, and we knew we had to do them. We wasn't supposed to wait for her to tell us what to do.
Right. We
know that, like, dishes had to be done,
right.
Floors had to be swept and mopped and all that.
Yeah.
You had to have that up in your head if you didn't want to.
You're not told twice.
That's right. There we was just sitting watching TV. There's his cousin.
Oh, okay.
And they're both dead. This is the man that did my hysterectomy. I had to have a complete hysterectomy when I was, let's see, how old was I? It was after I quit having any kids, and then I got that endometriosis. And I had to have everything. There was my music teacher.
Oh, wow. Martha Kruger.
And I think she's dead now. Then this, you have to turn it like that. That's kids I went to school with. And this is me. And now you have to excuse the way they told me to set this up. And I think probably the biggest part of them are dead now. This boy, they was playing ball game at noon hour. He run into this boy here and knocked his eye tooth out. Then they got in a fight because the eye tooth was big. And he wanted the teacher to whip that boy but he didn't run into him on purpose.
Right.
No, it wasn't that boy either. It was Carl Dye. Carl Dye. See what's there. Cecil Dye. Where's Carl at? He should be there someplace. It was him that ran into him instead of him.
Huh.
I imagine the biggest part of them are dead now.
There's was that Joan Dye?
Jean Dye.
Jean Dye.
Her mom died when she's 11 years old. Her dad died when she's 3. So they had to take her up to, I think, Cleveland to live with her sister because she didn't have no place to go.
Oh, okay.
There's some pictures of us. And there's our kids, all but Ricky. No, Ricky's there. Debbie's on but that was the day Little Clay's funeral.
Oh, okay.
And she didn't get in it. This was Little Clay's car there.
Oh, okay. Wow.
That was right after the funeral.
Yeah, I don't remember him having that one.
Yeah, he had a car. But of course now Ronnie's got a beard and a bunch of hair. Tommy's still, I think he's still got bald head.
Yeah, I think he does.
But this is the line they go. There was Peggy and Ronnie and Kathy, Donnie, Dougie, Gary, Tommy, Ricky, and Robbie. That's it.
Looks like he's dressed in all black, but I'm sure those are like dark blue or something.
Yeah, he might just put that on to just get the picture taken.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember.
It's odd how the photo shows that hill and doesn't show it as aggressive.
This hill is right out here, and it's all grown up now. That doesn't look like the same hill.
That and the driveway's right there still, I think, looking.
Yeah, see, that used to be the driveway over here.
Yeah.
And then they changed it. And that's my grandma and grandpa.
Wow.
Yep. I look at her fingers and look at mine. Well, he did want to cross his wires.
Oh, yeah?
When Grandma was out in the kitchen one day getting dinner. They lived at East Liverpool, Ohio. We went up for the visit, and she was getting dinner. And I wanted to go out there because Mom was out there with her.
Right.
And I went over to the door crying, and Grandpa got his knife out. And he said, if you don't shut that up, I'm going to cut your crier out like I did your sister's.
Jeez.
Buddy, I went back and got on Dad's lap and I never moved. That's all he had to say. I'm going to cut your crier out. There's the picture of me when I was little.
Okay.
That's me and my brother Jack, my youngest sister Betty. This was my sister's boy. That's my brother, my sister. And that with others with some other people. This was Mom and Dad.
Oh, wow, look at all those driver's license and whatnot.
Yeah, I put them all in here because I thought if I stick them all in a box or something,
yeah, they'll be there
I
forever.
won't remember where I put them. So he wanted me to just tear them up, but I didn't.
So, what's a D stand for?
Dwight.
Dwight?
And I didn't know till after he died. He was named after his uncle Dwight.
Oh, yeah?
I never did know what the D in his Uncle Alvy's middle. He always signed that Alvy D. I didn't know till Alvy died his name was Dwight. And that's where he got his middle name at.
Now, where did Zep come from?
He lived up at Mainsville on the other side of New Lex.
And so
he was 12 pounds when he was born.
Wow, big boy.
12 pounds.
Big boy.
And she had him at home.
He needs to apologize to her. So where did the name Zep come from? What's that?
Well, I asked his oldest sister, and nobody else seemed to know. And I said, what would you say is why everybody called him Zep? That's what they introduced him to me when I met him.
Yeah.
And they said when he was little, if you asked him something, and the answer was supposed to be yes, he said Zep. Instead of yes, he was saying Zep.
Okay.
And it grew up with him.
Wonder why he did that.
I don't know. That's the only answer I got.
Oh, daggone.
His older sister told me that. See, his mom wanted his name spelled like this.
Okay.
See, but I think on his birth certificate.
Yeah, his driver's license got the Leo.
Yeah, see, some places put a no on it. And some places didn't, since he didn't have a birth certificate.
Now, are all these driver's licenses and stuff?
Yeah, it was all his.
That is fascinating. Yeah, there's an old
and that one
card.
you can't hardly even see it anymore.
And that's the Leonard, or is it pronounced the same, Leonard or Leonard?
Yeah, it's same. It's pronounced the same.
Okay, there's Dwight. Yep.
Yeah, there's his name is Dwight.
And that's a registration certificate for driving,
for unemployment.
Unemployment.
Back years ago, you had to sign up, and they had to have that card. If you lose that card, you'd lose your unemployment.
So you had to show each time before you got Your unemployment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wrong way.
See, some people don't keep all this. And I got this album up to Goodwill, and I thought, if I put it in that, I'll know exactly where everything's at.
Man, wouldn't it be nice to have that in super good condition?
That one,
That is...
he had that in a long time.
Man, you can see where his name is spelled with the O there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you got
some
the 1 1
did,
2
some
by
didn't,
buzzard.
so it passed whichever way you put it,
Oh, but that going. Oh, wow, look at that outfit.
Yeah.
What the hell, Leonard?
See how I wrote his name?
Yeah. He's a damn mobster. Oh, there's a birth certificate. Here's that go to.
See,
Okay, yours,
they
okay.
just got one in there.
Ah, okay.
See, so that's the legal way.
Uh-huh.
So, whenever I sign my name, I tell them that's not legal, but
Right.
I use it that way so people call me Joann instead of Joan. Because if you tell them that, they'll call me Joan, and I don't like the name of Joan.
For the purpose of the video and the audio, it's spelled Joan for the legal name.
Yeah, that's the legal way.
And if you add an N, that's
And
what
I
you did
added the N.
because Joanne said, fuck you motherfuckers, we're putting it in there properly. My name, I can do what I want to. I'll cry on my birthday.
Well, see, the first copy I had to get this at Logan because I was born near Logan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they sent all this, didn't have no mom and dad. I wrote back down to Logan and I said, didn't I have a mom and dad? How did I get here?
Was I born of a petri dish? What are you people doing to me?
I had to pay $2 for that. Now I won this for not missing any days of school.
Oh, wow.
That's
Wow. Yeah.
1941.
Oh, but dang, going. Now, you said you had to walk to school? How far was that, a mile?
I lived just 1 mile, and there was a house on past our house.
Uh-huh.
Just put them over here. And that's where I graduated from the 8th grade.
Was that your final year?
And no, I went on to high school, but to go on to high school, you had to graduate from grade school.
Oh, that's a certification of promotion to high school.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
You had to have that to go on to high school. And I could either pick Logan or Carbon Hill, and they let me visit both schools, and I like Carbon Hill the best. So that's where I landed at. This is your grandpa.
Okay, Stanley.
Grandpa Stanley.
I've learned a lot about him the last couple of years.
Yeah, it probably wasn't very good either.
No, it wasn't good at all. I started digging into where Mom's mom was killed, and I found some news articles about that, and it's different from when I was told growing up a little bit, more details. I'm like, Mom, so you want to tell me more about this, So that evolved into like learning about his prison time and what happened, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Now Wilma didn't like that dress. I just loved that dress. It was so comfortable. And she sent up there one time we were supposed to go down to her house. It was Donnie's wedding, I think. And she wrote up there and told me sent word up there not to wear that white dress. I thought, she ain't telling me what to do.
Yeah, Wilma seems like my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Where nothing's a good idea unless I'm going to say
right.
it. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, my mother-in-law was like that. It's real sad. Now, to me, she's fairly a kind person.
Yeah.
But
this is just a bunch of pictures of us. There's in Florida. There's when we was down in Florida. We brought them bicycles back on top of our car.
No kidding.
$25.
Is that a thumbs up right there?
That's a little
Wesley, yeah, Wesley.
Uh-huh.
Oh, but that's going.
You could just ride all over the place with them. Then we give them to Tommy's boys, and they tore them out.
Of course, they're boys.
They want them so bad.
That's what boys do.
And that's what they do.
That's why boys' bicycles are more valuable, because they didn't last more than 6 months.
Yeah. This is, I think, and That says Iman. That must be my sister's grave.
Do you remember what year you moved in here?
Not exactly. Zepp sold the place. You know, you probably don't remember us living over there.
I do.
Well, he sold the place and didn't tell me till after he sold it. Then we had to get out.
Men.
Well, Tommy said we could move over there, or Donnie said we could move here. If we'd have chose him and Sue divorced after that, and we'd been out.
So this is you in Florida then?
That was down in Florida when Clay lived down there. We went down and visited him.
Any idea what year that was?
It might have it on the picture. No, I guess it doesn't. That was when little Clay and Wesley was just wee little.
And the early 90s maybe, you think?
See, Wesley was born in '83. He was probably 3 years old or something like that.
Oh, wow, so 80s.
Look here, Dad. I didn't think he'd let me take his picture. That was shortly before he died. And then he went to sleep in his chair.
Yeah.
He didn't even know I took that.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, shoot. This is down to the park at Crooksville. No, Logan.
Okay, yeah.
He is in hospital shortly before he died. Here he wanted me to get in bed with him.
He's got a smirk on his daggone face.
He does that way.
He is an ornery one.
Yeah.
This looks like something that he grabbed your breast first, and you're like, I'm gonna hold you still.
He always would grab me somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah, mostly I'd grab a hold of his hand. See here?
Yeah.
Grabbing at me.
Maintain yourself, old man.
And Kathy took us camping one night, and that's the only time we've ever went camping. That was on the other side of Zanesville.
Huh.
And this is Bubby.
Oh, okay.
Becky's boys.
Boy, they tower
Oh, they're way bigger than that now.
Wow.
Look at there's this Tyler.
Jeez.
Look at me beside of him.
Looks like a different species.
They're
Is that whose camper is that?
That was my sister's.
Oh.
They had it down to Dad's. Look at that grin. Here he was bringing wood in to burn. I think.
What is that right there, ladies? Oh, the TV maybe? TV dial?
That looks like a microwave. It looks like he's turning it.
Yeah,
he's got
maybe.
something in his hand.
Okay, yeah.
I bet it was a microwave. If
July
you look close,
84.
you might know what year that was. There's the calendar.
Yeah, this is August 82. Down there says July 84.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but that's probably more accurate.
Yeah.
I don't think you keep a calendar like that for 2 years in your house.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
There he was blowing his food.
$10 bill maybe?
Yeah, whenever anybody got him a card, he made sure I didn't get the money. I'd say, let me see that card. He wouldn't let me see the money. He went to sleep here one day.
Yeah.
And I took his picture. And he always said he don't lean his head back.
Yeah.
What's he doing? He said, look here, he says his head won't go back. Back, ain't it?
Oh. He almost reflects that baby, so I'm just laying back.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. Oh, you're a goofball.
See, I got the different pictures to prove he goes someplace he goes to sleep.
He is up asleep.
Look at the look on his face there. He was mad.
Oh, really? What is that right there? A smashed bug, or what is that?
It's hard to tell.
Oh, okay. Yep, it's smashed bug.
And he says he don't sleep with his tongue out. What does this look like?
He's busted. Can't argue out of that one. That photo ain't lying about it. Who is this? Oh, that's
Mary. That was up. This is Valerie.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And that's Tim,
Mm-hmm.
Margaret's husband. That was up in Lancaster. And there he was grabbing at me.
Yeah, he was.
He was always doing that.
He's just playful there, ain't he?
Yeah.
Ornery goofball.
I don't know what he was doing there. This were hand operated on.
Oh.
You know what I'm laughing about? That's Sandy's husband telling how when she had her baby, they reached her hand up inside of her.
Uh-huh.
They said they put the whole hand in it. That's what I was laughing about.
Oh my goodness.
It was so funny.
No one told you about that part about being a mom.
And see, this was probably shortly before he died, because he died in November in 2016. Might have been the last picture he had taken.
What day was that when he passed away?
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah.
So he lived long enough to see Trump as president.
Yeah. So you got a hold of his hands there?
Daggone handsy. This is that endometriosis that I had. Mm-hmm.
I had to have everything removed.
Yeah, Jennifer did as well.
This is a picture of what they had to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I was having periods like crazy.
How old were you when you had the operation?
I think I was 40. I was 80 in 1984.
Mm-hmm.
But they said that was the only alternative. They said you just live at the doctor's office if you don't. And I was going every 2 weeks.
We should wonder how ladies survived before.
Yeah.
When they did stuff like that.
Yeah.
We're gonna sit that in.
Yeah, this is a lot of memories. Well, this is his birth certificate that we ended up. See how long it is?
That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
They're trying to make up for the fact that he
that's what we ended up with.
Good Lord.
And this is what he died of, if you can read it.
Okay. Arrest. Cardiopulmonary.
I think it's called cardiac arrest.
Oh, that was like cardiopulmonary.
Pulmonary.
Something.
That would mean the lungs, wouldn't it?
I think. I don't know.
That's what I'd say.
COPD.
COPD. And that's, I don't know what this is really. It just says weeks.
I think that's not even a freaking language when doctors do that stuff. They just do it to make themselves sound smart.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they'd print it so you could read it and look it up. Now, what cost $25 here? This?
Yeah, I had to pay $25 for that.
For this?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
I know. But that's the only thing I got to prove he was born.
Well, that's a death certificate.
Oh, no, this is his death certificate. So you have to have that, in case something happened, you have to come up with something that what was wrong with him and all that. And Dr. Hagejo's John Henry.
So his mother's name was Cora Kenny?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is that how we're related to Kennys? Is through him?
Through her.
Through her?
Yeah, her, she was a Kenny, and they lived up here on Buzzard.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, see, I was down to Nelsonville the other day, me and Debbie, and I bought some stuff, and she wanted to give me a card so when we come back could get a discount on what we bought. And I said, you live on Buzzard Glory Road? I said, yeah. And she said, I'm Biddy's daughter. Biddy is a Kenny,
Mm.
And she's relation to me. We didn't even know
Oh,
know
where
it.
you going?
She said, I'm Betty's daughter. I said, you are? I said, then we're relation.
Yeah.
She didn't even know it.
Where you going?
That we all went through by my address.
Mm-hmm.
It's a strange world.
Yeah, it is.
Being clear down Nelsonville and find out you're talking to somebody that's your cousin.
Yeah. Of all places and people to run into.
Yeah, well, that's what she said. Strange things happen. So, I can't put this all in here unless I cut it in two, and I just put this over it so it wouldn't get
Right.
tore up or anything. And I didn't want to cut that part off of there. So see, there's the 12-pound he weighed. Can't you imagine having a baby 12 pound,
Heck no.
no anesthetic and
Yeah.
no nothing?
Not for me. Made me scream thinking about that kind of junk. Ouch.
Yeah. See, my first one was 3 pound. That was Peggy. And then I had Ronnie in December, and he weighed 5 pound.
Mm-hmm.
Then I had Kathy. We didn't really weigh her, but we figured she weighed about 6 pound and a half.
Oh, wow.
Then come Donnie, he weighed 7 pound.
Mm.
Then I had Dougie, he weighed 8 pound and a half.
They're getting bigger. They're getting bigger.
Maybe I better quit having babies. The more I have, the bigger they come.
There's a trend building there.
Yeah.
Not good.
But Tommy and Dougie was the biggest babies I had. Both of them weighed 8 pound and a half.
What were they going?
Yeah. And I had Dougie when there was visiting hours going on in the office up at New Lex on the right side going that way.
Mm-hmm.
That's where he was born at. And I'll have to see who it is. Kathy. Hello? Yeah? Oh, did they? Oh, 2:35. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, really? I know. No. Donnie tried to find it yesterday and he couldn't find none. Yeah? Well, maybe they'll come out with one later then. He called Ricky? Yeah. Yeah, I imagine so. Rocky's here recording me with and talking to him, so that's what we're doing. Rocky. Yeah. Yeah, imagine that.
I got lost. I had to turn it somewhere.
Yeah, he's recording my stories. Yeah. Okay. Bye. She said he's recording you?
I thought he only recorded the police.
He's recording your stories? She likes stories. She loves stories.
So how old were you when you first went to school?
Well, I was 6, but it was almost 7. We started school you have to start in September.
Mm-hmm.
So in December I was 7.
Okay.
So usually you're going on, you're 7, 6,
Yeah.
just 6. But with your birthday had to be by I think the 15th of September.
Okay.
Which mine wasn't until December.
Right.
So
that's why you went a year after?
yeah, so and then the teacher in the 2nd grade, she passed all girls and failed all the boys.
Why?
So the boys never did catch up with us.
Why? Just to do it?
We used to do crazy things at school. You have to hold up, if you had to pee, you held up one finger. If you had to do the other, you held up 2 fingers. Well, we played a game. First person would hold his finger up, so the teacher say you could go. Well, in about 5 minutes, somebody else would hold their fingers up. They had to go, and they'd leave the door partly open. They wouldn't shut it clear up. Sometimes there'd be 10 of us outside while school was going on, and the teacher wouldn't know we was all out there.
Oh my God! Oh, that poor teacher.
We'd be out there having a blast. He'd forget about letting some of them go.
Really?
Yeah. And one morning, we tried to trick on him. He always had a box out like this, and he carried his books and his dinner bucket and stuff in.
Yeah.
Well, we hid outside, and we did this first. We went in and hid in the room. He puts his, what we call a coat room.
Okay, yeah.
And when he went to open the door, he would always whistle on the way over there. So when he went to open the door to put his pocketbook and his dinner bucket in there, we jumped out and said boo, and he threw his hat up in the air and dropped his dinner all over the floor.
Oh, man.
So the next morning, we go around the school. We waited till he got inside the school, and we was up on a brick thing so you could see him, see what he's doing. He went up there and was just creeping over the door and opened it up when nobody there. He thought we was going to be there and jump out at him again.
Yeah. He got a false alarm on that one.
Or some of the kids at noon hour would take these garter snakes, hide them in his drawer, and then when school took up, he always pulled the drawer out to get his pencil and stuff out there, and there'd come that snake up out there at him.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You don't know what's up. And that one teacher, she'd been over to pick a paper up off the floor, and you know how he took these rubber bands and put a paper wad and stick her right in the rear end. Hey, they did all kinds of things.
Did you share a classroom with other grades as well, right?
Yeah, see, the first room was first and second grade. There was only 3 rooms. And the second room was the 3rd, 4th, and 5th. And the one room out towards the road was 6th, 7th, and 8th. Because you had the same teacher.
Yeah.
So when I was in the 7th grade, there was me and Clay Burt. In the 8th grade, it was me and Jesse Thompson. That's the only ones it was. So we had to pay attention, was nobody else to pay attention.
Wow. So how did that work when the same teacher teaching multiple different grade levels?
The other grades you just had to sit there while he taught them. Yeah. There was no cafeteria. Right. No water. If you got your hands dirty, you didn't wash your hands. Not even if you went to the restroom.
Really? Oh, wow.
And the toilets wasn't like they are nowadays. Right. Instead of 1 seat, there was 4 seats, so 4
right next to each other.
Right next to each other.
Oh, my. Was that like that ever at home? With like the outhouse or whatever, a 2 or a 3 seat?
The women's toilet, I was never in the men's toilet, but that's the way the women's was. So 4 could use it at the same time, and if somebody was doing their business, you had to wait on it.
I wonder if men's were like that.
And here's another thing the boys used to do. Back then, girls mostly wore dresses. Yeah. You never see them wear shorts or slacks. And they'd say, "Will you take this paper back to the trash can for me?" It'd have a mirror on the floor watching up your dress.
Oh, my God.
You wouldn't suspicion it, you know.
No.
And here they's watching up your dress while you go back to the trash can.
Rotten boys, I'll tell you.
And one day, I was standing up, and the teacher she got mad at you. She'd throw the eraser at you. I just sat down in my seat, and the eraser went right over my head, hit the one behind me.
Oh,
boy,
my goodness.
They did all kind of, or they'd take their ruler, crack their fingernail, their knuckles with them. We had teachers like that.
How many hours was school?
with 9 to 4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you
Then
go?
we had
Everybody
an
go
hour at noon.
home for lunch.
We'd have a recess in between morning and noon,
Mm-hmm.
and then we had an hour at noon, and then we had one recess in the afternoon. School let out about 4.
So did everybody go home for lunch, or what did they do for lunch?
You had to take your lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and if somebody let the door open to the school, and there was a big black dog about this big.
Mm-hmm.
If he got in there and got your lunch, you had to do without.
Oh my goodness!
Everybody
Whose dog
took a
was
sack
it?
lunch.
Whose dog was it?
It
Just a school
belonged
dog?
to somebody. It just run around everywhere.
Oh my
But
goodness!
if he got your lunch, you didn't have no lunch.
Crazy animal.
I mean, we had some really good times at grade school. I mean, that teacher, he was so comical.
And you had the same teacher throughout until
I had
after
Miss
eighth grade?
Hoy, Miss Leffler in the first grade, Miss Hoy in the second grade, then Mr. Lehman, Seaver Lehman.
Mm-hmm.
All the rest of the grades up to 8th grade.
Eighth grade?
Clear through the 8th grade. Then I had to go to another school, so I went to Carbon Hill
Mm-hmm.
for high school, which was probably at least 4 miles from where I lived.
Mm-hmm.
And he'd go and halfway you had to change buses and get on another bus
Oh,
to
wow.
go on to the school. Then they do the same thing coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Were all the roads ever
They
gravel?
was
or
all
just
gravel
dirt?
roads back
Were they all
then.
gravel?
You never seen no paved roads like that.
Yeah, but was there always gravel roads when you grew up, or was there before that ever?
It was just all gravel.
Just gravel.
Yeah. And then there was like the road was here and the track was here, so our house was boxed in between the road and the track.
Yeah. Oh my God, that sounds crazy. But I mean, that makes sense because you want to put your transportation near each other.
Dad seen this man on the track one day. He couldn't hear.
Yeah.
Here come the train, and Dad tried to get his attention, and because he couldn't hear, he
Right.
couldn't yell at him. And finally, he went through some kind of motions and went like that the
Right.
train was coming. It almost hit him.
Oh, that gives me anxiety. What are you people doing?
I mean, when they can't hear,
Right.
what could you do?
You can't do nothing. Nothing that I can think of. It's absurd.
And we used to have an old tree that they cut down, just the trunk part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And Mom, sometimes I got to be a teenager and she'd want something down to the store, which was a mile away. And we had this old sack called Grandpa's sack.
Mm-hmm.
And if it was too much to carry, I'd take the sack. And then the storekeeper would help me back on the horse and then hand my sack to me. And the only thing, if somebody come along and honked that horn,
Yeah.
that horse would shoot out like that too. Every time a car come, he thought, I hope they don't honk if they know me.
Right.
Because that horse is going to throw me off this horse. My brother one day, when we lived down below the road, he dared me to ride a horse. Well, I wasn't afraid to ride a horse.
Yeah.
It didn't scare me at all. But I didn't know what he had up his sleeve. So I ride the horse down through the field, come back okay. Boy, pretty soon he was hid in the weeds and threw the basket up in the air. That horse shot up out there like that, and I landed underneath it. Its foot was coming right toward my face,
goodness.
and I rolled over just in time where it would have smashed me.
Man,
And that would have been his fault.
I bet he laughed over that one.
Oh, he probably did. He probably rolled on the ground laughing about
I'm
it.
sure he did. Oh my God.
And one night, our house was made where there was a front room here, a dining room here, the kitchen in here. We lived up on an old hill in an old house about like that one.
Mm-hmm.
Well, me and Betty and Jack thought we'd fix us a snack before we go to bed.
Mm-hmm.
The door opened up and shut up. Jack looked at me and I looked at him, and we didn't see nothing.
Yeah.
Pretty soon it opened a little bit farther. I didn't see anything to you. Pretty soon it opened halfway. He cleared 2 tables and got in the front room where Mom was at. Before I got out of one room. I swear he must have jumped that whole table.
Oh my God.
But see, there wasn't no neighbors.
Yeah.
So who's going to open that door?
Whatever was it?
We found out later, my brother, the older brother, he knew he was in there. And that was him moving the door. And when he got it wide open, we didn't have no neighbors, so who in the world's opening that door?
Oh my God.
I imagine he rolled when he laughed.
Oh man. Yeah, he never anticipated that to happen.
We had some middle times. We used to play horseshoe on Sunday afternoon, play ball, and stuff like that. We didn't have TV. You didn't have TV. Didn't had no radio. Was the battery? If the battery got done low, you couldn't even hear it.
Huh.
And
do you have electricity in the house? Some or much of it?
do what?
Did you have electricity in the house?
We just had a front room kitchen. Wee little tiny kitchen about half as big as mine.
Mm-hmm.
Just had a wee little table in it.
Yeah.
Then the big table was in the front room with the other stuff.
Right.
And Dad was the only one who worked. Mom, she canned stuff and cooked meals and stuff like that. And we either had beans one day and potatoes, and the next day we had potatoes and beans.
Wow.
This one little boy I went to school with, his name was Herbie, and say, "Hey Herbie, what you having for supper?"
Mm-hmm.
Beans and mitdetter. What he was saying, beans and potatoes mixed together. He couldn't talk like
Beans and potatoes mixed together?
Beans and mitdetter.
Oh my Lord. That don't even sound nowhere near tasty.
We never had milk at school. And we used to, Mom had chickens, so we used to boil us an egg and take that, a couple eggs, boiled eggs to school in our bucket.
Oh, okay.
So they told us we'd go and turn it into a chicken. Many eggs.
Oh boy.
Well, here's another thing. You just got to find this out. We usually had either bologna or peanut butter and jelly in our buckets, and most of the other kids. Here come this one girl out of a lard sandwich. Lard.
Yeah.
That's all she had.
Did she enjoy it?
You want to eat that? And she said, "That's all I got."
That's
When
terrible.
you throw that away, we each one give her one of our sandwiches. We went about to eat our bologna sandwiches, her sitting there eating lard.
Poor kid. That's rough.
And one girl had me walk home with her one day to get her something to eat. What'd she eat? I wouldn't have eaten if I was starved. She went in the kitchen and got an old piece of bread, looked like it was laid there for days.
Yeah.
And put some of those beans already cooked. I don't hard know how long they sat there.
Yeah.
Put them on the bread, and that was her dinner.
Oh, that was terrible. But any kind of thing, like almost the worst experience you have, the funnier it is later, or the better the story is later.
The biggest experience I had, and I have nightmares about it today.
Oh, Lord.
My little sister, my sister and brothers, two of my sisters, one was a boy and one was a girl. Well, their name was Ray and Barbara. I couldn't find them. Well, I knew Mom, if they was someplace high, she couldn't get them.
Yeah.
I go down to the barn. You seen a picture of the old barn. There they was, like up the top rafter.
Okay.
By themselves, a great big rock right below them. And how am I going to get them over here? There was no floor in there.
Yeah.
So I had to go scoot along the wall to go get them. And I told them to hold each other's hand.
Yeah.
And don't bump or you'll land on that rock.
Right.
So we had to just take baby steps to get over to where there was a floor.
Right.
I never told Mom.
You would have paid for that
how them
one.
kids got over there without falling, I never did figure out.
Man.
But there they was, both of them, back clear over to the corner.
Yeah.
There's no way else to get to them. No floor, no nothing. And I was the only one there to
If you would
get
have caught them mid-range, you would have lost your mind.
And here I did I thought I did my dad a real good deed one day.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Mom and Jack was my brother. We was up on the hill working in a cornfield.
Mm-hmm.
This truck pulled in, and I told Mom, "You want me to get down and see what they want?"
Right.
Yeah, you can get on down in the back quicker than I can. Well, Dad had just bought this old mower that you mow weeds with.
Okay.
Had the big blade on it like this. And he said, your dad told me he'd sell me that for $35.
Mm-hmm.
Are you sure? Dad just bought that. Yeah, he told me he'd sell it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So Dad come home from dinner. I really did a good deed today. I sold that mower. He said, "You didn't." I said, "Well, that man told me that you said you'd sell it."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "I would have sold that for $50." He said, who was he? I said, "I don't know." He didn't tell me what his name was.
Oh my
It didn't
God.
take him long loading it up and getting out of there. He probably knew Dad was going to be home. He wanted to get out of there before Dad.
Yeah. Was your dad pissed?
Huh?
Was he upset?
Oh, upset.
Yeah.
If I wasn't his daughter, I think he'd kill me.
Oh my.
I thought I was doing him a good deed.
Oh yeah. Little kids are susceptible to doing stuff like that.
And one
because
day,
you-
my brother, I seen a truck pull in. He's sitting on the end gate thing. What's wrong with Dick?
Mhm.
I told Mom, I said, "Looky there, there's a truck pulled in and Dick's sitting on the tailgate."
Right.
You know what? He went up the road on a horse. The horse, he was racing with the horse and it fell on him and broke his leg.
Oh my God.
So these guys working on the road seen it and they brought him home.
Man.
And Mom and Dad had to take him to the doctor. And he broke his leg. And Mom had these lace curtains, real fancy lace curtains. And he wasn't allowed to walk because one of them kind of
Right.
casts you walk with.
Yeah.
He sat and cut them holes out in them curtains. He cut Mom's curtains all to pieces. Well, I had a
Wow.
broken leg.
I guess he was occupied.
Well, here's one night. Mom, she wouldn't stay home from church for no reason.
Oh.
So where the new Straceville School is,
Mhm.
here come this guy down the street just staggering all over the place. And I said, does that look like Dick?
Mhm.
Dad said, yeah. It don't even look like him, it is him. He left in a car.
Yeah.
And there he was in Straceville. Where's your car at? I don't know. My girlfriend ditched me and I don't have a car. You know where his car was?
Mm-mm.
Down toward Murray City at a gob pile just ready to go over the top of the hill.
How did he get there? His girlfriend?
Yeah, his girlfriend,
My God.
her name was Nelda Green. And after we got him home, after we didn't go on to church,
Uh-huh.
we took him home and locked the door so he couldn't get back out. And he'd get on Mom's lap and hug her. And now, I really think a lot of you, Mom. Will you take me over to see Nelda Green?
Uh-huh.
Mom said, "No, you're drunk. We can't. She don't want to see you drunk like that." Yeah, I got to go see Nelda Green. And he said, "If I can walk a straight line through here, will you take me to see Nelda Green?" Mom said, "Yeah, you make a line through there. If you don't fall off of it, we'll take you to see Nelda Green."
Yeah.
He was all well, finally, after so long a time that he was getting tired, and he threw up all over the floor.
Oh.
Walked right through that old throw up. I told Mom I ain't never married a drunkard before like that. So finally, he went in and laid down on the bed. Then.
Yeah.
Well, the next day I go to school, and I walked home instead of waiting for the bus. I just thought I'll just walk home. I thought I got in somebody else's house. The house was all clean. The dishes was done. And usually breakfast dishes were still sitting there.
Right.
And I said, you sure this is the right house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the right house. Guess what Nick's doing? He's downstairs washing clothes. No, out on the back porch washing clothes.
Okay.
He cleaned up Mom's whole house, did the dishes, and was washing clothes. You know why? He throwed up a thing about that long. Thought it was somebody's insides. He never drank no more. That sobered him up.
Wow.
He thought it was his insides, and he said, I'll never drink again.
Man.
Wouldn't that scare you?
It would, but it's amazing it works because so many people don't.
I mean, Kathy, she loves my stories because they're not only stories, they're true.
Yeah.
Yet they really happen.
Well, it shows you how things change and how some things don't change, but
Yeah.
it's interesting to see what happened.
Well, see, back then, we got up, there was a lot of us, so we just eat whenever we got up. We didn't everybody sat at the table and eat, like a lot of people do. We just eat one. Then you know what our breakfast and supper was every day.
What's that?
Cocoa with bread dunked on it. That was our breakfast and supper every day, 7 days a week. And that's what we grew up.
So you and your brother and sister would just eat anywhere once you got your food?
Well, we just eat whenever we got hungry.
Oh, so no set time?
No set time. If we got hungry, it would just be 2 o'clock in the morning. We'd be out there at the table eating.
Yeah. How old were you when you guys first got like a refrigerator?
Oh gosh, we didn't have even electric. Even Mom and Dad didn't have electric when we was married.
Even then?
Even then.
Wow.
No, electric lines didn't even go up there. So
you got married in what year then?
Guess what? Guess how big the first television we had was? How big the screen was?
I would imagine just a little bit bigger than that.
Not like that. It was an 8-inch television.
8-inch TV.
But you could
It was
watch,
probably big though, but like a screen was 8 inches.
That's all bigger it was.
Yeah.
The screen. And you could watch wrestling on it.
Wrestling?
Wrestling.
Back then they had for the TV?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
What we did, no one could afford a TV. So they'd put a TV in a store toward the window. People would drive up and watch it that way.
Yeah.
Well, the first TV we bought was the 8-inch. And then we talked Dad into getting electric. Because he liked to watch that wrestling.
Oh, okay.
Zep got him hooked on that big time. And Mom tried to say, that's just not a bunch of fake. Well, we went to the wrestling match up in New Glex one night. Real wrestling.
Yeah.
Where there was really wrestling.
Yeah.
This woman sitting behind us got so excited she was beating Zep in the head with the pocketbook. She about knocked his head off. Didn't realize what she's even doing.
Oh my God.
And here, one night with the kid, we lived down there, down from where Gary Lee lives.
Yeah.
And we had Albert's sister Alice come watch the kids while we go watch wrestling. This guy got in the wrestling match with a bear, real bear.
Oh,
Zep said they paid that guy to get in there.
Yeah.
Bear, he didn't have no shirts on, nothing.
It wouldn't help him.
When he got done, guess what he done?
What did he do?
Come up and sit beside of Zep's cousin. I said, no. Did they pay him?
Yeah.
He was scratched up all over. If he'd have been sober, he would never gotten that bear. Never the real bear.
Oh, is that what happened?
A real bear.
Oh my God. What a crazy person. There's no money that puts me in a cage with a bear.
I mean, no matter how drunk I was, I would get in with a real bear. It was a big one.
Oh my God.
If Zep was alive.
So he was all cut up from wrestling the bear?
It has had paw prints all over him. I said, now you think it's a fake?
What a crazy person.
It was John Kenny, his cousin.
Is that who did?
His own cousin.
How old was he? Do you know how old he was?
Probably about 20.
What a moron.
Oh, shoot. It's crazy what some people will do.
Well, yeah. Oh my God. So your first TV was like an 8-inch TV?
8-inch TV, but to Zep, that was like $1 million. You know, that was something you could see.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm sure it cost a lot of money also at the time because it was a new technology.
So to look at one now that size and to look at that size.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's alien technology compared to...
And then, so we talked Dad into getting electric so he could have a TV too.
How long did it take for him to get electric? How hard was it to get electric?
Well, there was no pole set. They lived up on a hill like that, and they had to bring it up from Greendale, which was way over a mile. They had to set all the poles and put all the belongings up through because nobody had it. They didn't even have electric at the school I was in.
So the thing that brought electric to the house was a TV.
That was a TV, an 8-inch TV. I wish we would have kept that.
Oh yeah.
Can't you imagine what that'd be worth now?
Yeah, oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And when we lived over on Tunnel Hill Road, there's only 3 channels you could get.
Yeah.
6, 8, and 10. That's all you could get. Well, no other channels you could get.
I also wonder why they chose 6, 8, and 10. Why wasn't it 1, 2, 3? You know what I mean? Like
the other ones wouldn't even come in at all.
There he is.
Jiminy Frog.
We're
just talking bad about you, and all of a sudden you show up.
Well, nobody's ears are itching for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm touching it now. Learned anything?
Learn about Grandma and her days of growing up as a child, and she's an ornery little thing, I'll tell you.
She gets a teenager, you don't want to know about.
Oh my goodness! Now I know why you go to church. You got a lot of forgiveness to go through. We've been talking for 1 hour and 20 minutes so far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And too, we didn't even have a bathroom.
Yeah.
It was outside facilities is all you had.
Was it even an outhouse at the time? Or just a bucket or a hole in the ground?
No outside facilities, no water, no toilet.
As it was a designated spot.
Just to have
Just go far enough from the house and come back.
Yeah. No matter if it was cold.
Ugh.
We lived up there on Tunnel Hill Road. Peggy was in the toilet, and Ricky didn't know it. Ricky was just wee little. He had a bucket, dipping it down in the creek. There was an old creek there behind the house. He got that thing full of water, and Peggy went, "Rawr." He threw that thing up in the air, and Mom, bear's after me. Oh, shoot. We've had so much fun.
Yeah, if you weren't him picking it out of the river, yeah. It's fun for everybody else. Meanwhile, he's losing his mind.
And Donnie and them went out to the toilet one night and they said somebody was sitting on the toilet hole stripped naked.
There was. They ran up there in the woods. Dad shot at them.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
You could hear somebody going through the weeds,
Oh,
couldn't
yeah. You could hear them running. Me and Peggy went out
What were they doing there? Somewhere to be out of the environment, I guess? I don't know. Was it cold?
I don't know now.
You don't know that either?
you? Gary went to the toilet was... there was a place a dog could get up under the back in the house. He was probably maybe 7 or 8, something like that. He said I didn't have to wipe my butt.
Meanwhile, 5 months later, a dog comes up and looks at everybody else.
He come up under there and looked at
Oh, that's wrong.
Hey, here's another thing. You might not get out of here tonight.
I have many hours of video I can record, so
Zep's
good.
mom was leaning over the toilet hole. She dropped her doll baby down in the toilet. I fell in there trying to get her. And Zep's mom had to get her out of there. Would you believe your sister up out there?
I would have to, but she would have been making me lunches for a while. Oh. That is nasty. So how old were you when your dad built like an outhouse like a designated spot?
Well, the house was there. There. He didn't build it.
But like the outhouse.
It was just a company house where he worked real pumped oil wells. And you could live there for, I think it was $10 a month if you worked there.
Oh, okay. So the company provided him a house as long as he paid the rent?
No electric, no bathroom,
Yeah.
no water. And when it rained, we had these barrels, we caught water, and that's how we washed our head and took a bath.
Yeah? There's nothing wrong with that.
They used to put us inside of an old tire, roll us down over the hill.
Yeah, that's where the brain damage starts at, right there. Maybe that's what happened to that dude that wrestled that bear. That's what happened. He did that, got up, got drunk, and wrestled a bear. So what are you doing?
I went up and I had a tar rod in for that car up there.
You'll never drink, you'll never sleep tonight thinking, well, no, Grandma went through it.
She needs protection. We need to go over and give her some ammo. The heck?
Yeah, I was telling him a few minutes ago that the first TV we had was an 8-inch one.
Yeah.
Can't you imagine watching an 8-inch TV now?
I remember them.
They probably lasted next to forever, didn't they?
Oh no.
And you was probably might not even been born yet when that John Kenny got in that wrestling match with that bear down in Crooksville.
Well, I remember Charles Kenny. I thought it was Charles Kenny did too, didn't he?
No, it was John. It was John Kenny.
I remember one of them.
He was drunk.
Yeah, they tore him up.
Can you imagine if he'd come sober all at once?
Where'd you get a bear at?
It was in the
got the bear
circus come around.
That thing was big.
People fight bears.
So it's part of a circus, and then they kept the bear here.
Well, they had it down there at the park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was right down here at Crooksville Park.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, get in the ring with him. Well, he was drunk.
That was upset. Oh, they're just paying that guy to do that. I think my person on the side, are you still believe they're just paying him?
Did he get money out of it?
Yeah. Would you if you wrestled a bear?
I'd better get something out of that.
If you'd have seen his chest, what that bear did to him, I would have got in that ring without him for no amount of money.
No, heck no. No interest at all there. None.
He's dead now, or I could prove it.
Yeah, somebody may have photos of it, you know.
Yeah, they might. What was that?
David. He's putting the exhaust system on that truck. All the stainless steel.
Wow.
On the header's back.
See,
all day extra on it, and then the night.
We got inside bathrooms now. Back then, you had to go out the toilet no matter what time, unless you had a pot in the house. The last pot I bought went down here at the hardware, down here phrase, and the only one they had was up on the shelf. And I said, I want that thing right up there. And he said, oh, you want one of them cold weather assets? I said, well, that's what you want to call it.
We got cold weather coming.
So he got it, put it on the shelf up there to write down how much he wanted for it. And I said, are you going to put that in a sack or wrap it up? Oh no, people goes up and down the street every day with cold weather assets. This guy was behind me and I bet my face turned the color of a rainbow. That Don Boise lives right behind Kathy. That's the one that was working. I said I ain't never facing him again.
Good Lord.
Cold weather assets.
When did you end up throwing that thing out? You still got it?
Huh?
When did you throw it out?
When did I throw it out? I don't remember.
Don't remember.
But back then, we didn't have bathrooms, so you had to Unless you wanted to go outside at night.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That seems pretty scary.
Just to use at night, you know.
Mm-hmm. So how much property did your dad have with that house at $10 a month or whatever?
Oh, we had a big long field. We
Mhm.
had cows, horses, and chickens, and pigs.
Mm-hmm.
Had gardens both sides of the house, and one below the garden, below the house.
And how many of them oil things did he have to go check on?
Oh, he probably had 6, at least.
And that was his job all the time,
That was
checking on
his job.
those.
Some of them he could walk to, and some he had to drive to them. And we found out his checks ourselves. You know what he drawed for 2 weeks?
What's that?
$50. That's how we went. And we
Well-
all growed up.
Well, I thought, it ain't like you got electric bill, so it makes it easier to...
We didn't have electric.
I know. Makes it easier. You see my electric bill, you'd probably have a heart attack.
She's got pictures of Grandpa, what he used to haul, big round stones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she got pictures of them.
So,
What did they do with stones?
you know,
like
we
that?
had
I
kind of
forget what
an
they did
exciting
back
life.
then.
Yeah?
It was really exciting.
It sounds that way.
We didn't know what electric was and telephone and television.
No, we didn't have a
telephone.
telephone
Mhm.
bill. Didn't
That
have
was a
electric bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard about that with microwaves. Like the
Really?
newspapers were
We
talking
didn't
about how
have. We didn't have
this is
microwaves either.
This alleged danger with them, you know. It's because you didn't have the information.
And you know what? When I was 2, about 2.5,
Mm-hmm.
they lived down below the road then, and I come out the kitchen door, and the cellar door was opened up like this.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody had opened it up, but didn't close it back down.
Mm-hmm.
I come running out of the kitchen door and fell right smack down in
Oh,
there.
man.
And you can feel the scar right here on my head. I had a
Still
hole
from
big
that,
enough
huh?
in my head to see my brain.
Dang.
She didn't even take me to the doctor.
Of course not. That sounds reasonable. Why would you do that?
She said you could hear my head raking down the bricks that was
Mhm.
cemented together
Right.
and landed on a big cement step.
Oh.
Never even took me to the doctor.
There probably wasn't a whole lot they could do for you anyway, but I'm sure they could have done something better than nothing.
I mean, when you're raised that way, you don't look for anything else because you've never had anything else.
No. There's nothing to look for.
Uh-uh.
I just find it fascinating is the one thing that brought electricity was wrestling. That's hilarious. It just is.
I mean, the women was worse than the men. They pulled each other's hair and everything.
You mean on wrestling?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
wow.
was really mean with each other.
I never knew that women wrestled.
Oh,
like
yeah.
Oh, you
in
still
the
see today.
in the
There
bathing
was the
suits.
men.
that. Are they?
I remember when that woman made that guy, one guy, actually tap out big guy
Mhm.
a few years ago, and Sean and Don and them was watching it, and Sean told me about it
Mhm.
before Donna did. Sean said, I said, there ain't no woman make this guy tap out. None. There ain't a
Mhm.
woman that can do it. He said, because I am a man. And Donna said, you don't think so, huh? He said, no. He said, there ain't no woman to make this man tap out.
Uh-huh.
And he said, he looked at her and he said, you care if I try? And he said, and Donna told me that he actually got down on the floor and cried laughing at her. And she kept saying, you care if I try? He says, if I gave in. Yeah, if you think you can, go right ahead.
Yeah.
He said, I'll tell you one thing, it didn't take 3 seconds and I'll never say that to her again.
Oh, boy.
Guess what my brothers did?
Mm.
My older brother came home. My other brother was in bed asleep because he didn't know they crawled in bed with him.
Right.
His girlfriend was in the middle. He went to turn over the night. There was a naked woman.
Oh my
He said-
goodness.
I was afraid to move.
That would be too. Do you remember watching Andy Kaufman wrestle women on TV and whatnot?
Who?
Andy Kaufman. He's a comedian, but he's socially awkward as hell. But he would, part of his act was the comedy, and that at the end of the comedy, at every event, he would wrestle a woman to prove that a man is superior to, and he wasn't a physically fit guy, but he would always win anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's a funny fella. Yeah, they recently made a tribute movie about him with Jim Carrey dressing up like Andy Kaufman. Had big hair and stuff. As a guy of your era, so I'd be surprised if you didn't know who Andy Kaufman was.
You know what me and my brother did one time?
Mm.
Mom told us we had to pick berries that day,
Mm-hmm.
but she told me I had to earn clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack come up to the house and said, "Well, I hate to go berry picking." I said, "You want to do something?
Mm-hmm.
You put my clothes on, I'll put your clothes on. Mom will never know the difference." So he puts my clothes on, earned my clothes, and I go down to the berry field and pick berries right along with Mom.
Mm-hmm.
She don't know that that was me. I had Jack's overalls on and everything.
That would have changed your life if she'd been ever talking smack about you. Oh.
You just didn't talk?
I didn't say anything. You think I was going to say something?
At that point, it'd be too late now. You might be part of the guard after that. So what was the size of your TV when you first bought one?
That 8 inch.
Really?
And then over on Tuttle Hill Road, when we lived over there, you know where Joann lived?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We lived at that little house right over in front there.
Oh, okay.
And we could only get 3 channels, just at 6, 8, and 10.
Huh.
Well, if you didn't like what was on them, you didn't watch TV.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah, somebody had to go out and turn the antenna so you could change channels sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Remember how if you didn't have to turn right, you couldn't get certain channels? So you had to go out and turn the antenna, and Dad would holler at you, or he'd go out and somebody holler at him, tell him when to stop.
Was TV, was there a subscription of some kind? Did you have to pay for it? The channels?
No.
No? You just picked them up over the airwaves, right?
If you could get them.
Television was free until cable came out.
Well, see, it was
No.
all, the first TVs was black and white. You couldn't even get color.
Yeah.
You couldn't get what color they
satellite
were.
come out first before cable, but that cost about money.
Oh, I'm sure it did.
It did. It was over $1,000 to get a disc put in, and then it got popular, and then cable started coming in and started fading it out, and finally.
Saturday night was wrestling or boxing, wrestling or boxing.
Now, do you remember one of the, amongst the earliest times watching TV? Was there something on TV all of the time, or just
Yeah.
all the time?
She didn't know what television was until that's
No, we didn't even know what TV. When I went to school, they told us there would be a thing that we'd bring in our front room someday that you could see people clear on the other side of the country.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that was like a dream to us.
Oh yeah, I couldn't imagine. Like
What kind of, they didn't have a name for it.
Yeah.
Dad got that little 8-inch television. He got her dad watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she was telling me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I was asking about electricity, and that evolved into what brought that to the house was Leonard got her dad into watching wrestling.
Hey,
So they had to get electricity to watch wrestling.
Guess where my dad took a bath at in the summer?
I don't
Out
know.
on the back porch.
Right on the back porch?
Yeah. Irene come down to spend the summer
Mm-hmm.
with us, and her friend come to the door and, "Where's your dad at?" I said, "Around the house." I didn't tell her he was running.
Of course not! Why would you?
I didn't tell her he was running taking a bath on the back porch.
See what happens if you don't have entertainment. You destroy people's lives. So I guess he used the rain bucket on the back porch or whatever.
It was a little tub.
Mm-hmm.
Not like you probably seen a wash tub.
Yeah, I've seen
worse
worse
know
tubs.
what a wash tub
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Well, we didn't have a microwave until you kids was
No,
born.
No, really.
Yeah.
I don't remember
And
before microwave
Dad-
times.
He just take a bath and drape a towel around him, just around his private parts, and come draping through the room. Zep says, "Your dad does that?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Well, he's always has done that. I never thought."
Now here's the thing I gotta ask you, because on I Love Lucy, you know, they slept in different beds. Was there ever a time where that was with you and your parents, or
They always
you and
slept
Zep
together,
were?
but it was a ridge in the middle of the bed.
Really?
There really was.
What's the purpose of that?
I don't know.
Ain't gonna stop nobody. You had 15 kids or whatever. What the hell's wrong with you?
At 10, 11.
Yeah.
Well, maybe it was 2 single beds.
No, it was a bed, just a bed both sides of mine.
It was a single bed, but it had a thing in the middle of it.
No, it was a what you call regular sized bed, but the mattress had a ridge in the middle of it. And Dad always went to bed by the time it was dark. He was in bed, so we had to keep occupied without making noise.
Yeah, yeah.
I was telling him we didn't have an alarm clock. The rooster crowed, and
Yeah.
we knew it was 6 o'clock in the morning time to get a roll out of bed.
Is that the purpose of having the rooster at the time?
That's all I know. I never did find out
They know what time
nothing
to
else.
crow.
Yeah, they do. I wonder why they even do that.
I don't know, but that rooster always did.
They still do it today.
Yeah.
One time, Mom had this old rooster. He'd take his feet and claw at your legs.
Mm-hmm.
She'd went to town. Jack had took her to town, and I went to go to the toilet, and he had to go out past the rooster and go up the hill to go to the toilet. That thing took its claws and about tore my legs off. I got the clothes prop to the clothesline, beats that thing, and he laid there. I thought I killed it. I was sure I killed it. And I thought, oh boy, pretty soon here comes the car up over the hill. What am I going to tell Mom? And I said, Mom, I did. Out there the rooster was going. I must have just knocked the wind out of it.
He got up.
So I had to go ahead and tell him or what I done.
Mm-hmm. You don't have the one rooster though?
So just one rooster. Well, when I was one night, we didn't have a dog, and I didn't want to go to the toilet, and sometimes we'd just get out and pee on the side of the house.
Yeah.
I just got my pants down and started peeing. Here come a dog around the house, and we didn't have a dog. He's right down my leg. Where'd that dog come from? We didn't have no neighbors.
How close was your closest neighbor?
Huh?
How close was your neighbor?
About half a mile.
About half a mile. Yeah. It's a little bit of a walk. Of course, some dogs travel too. They mosey
See, back
around.
then you didn't have electric, you didn't have a phone,
Running water.
no running water. We had to go clear across the road and up the hill to go get the water, drinking water. Now we caught water if it rained in a barrel.
Mm-hmm.
We could do dishes in it and stuff like that, mop and stuff like that. But it wasn't nothing like times are today.
No. Was it common to have books in the house to read and whatnot?
Well,
As a
we
form of
had
entertainment?
Magic catalogs in the toilet when she in the toilet.
What catalog you take out there?
Like Sears and Roebuck and
Oh wow.
and she'd spend an hour out there in the toilet looking at the book.
A lot of people got books, magazines by the commode. Because they can't.
And about the only other book we
had.
had was the Bible. We didn't have no other kind of books.
You had a Bible?
You know, we had
Yeah.
a Bible.
What's the oldest Bible you got?
I ain't got a very well old one now.
Oh, do you?
I did have. But I've given Bibles away. I couldn't tell you how many Bibles.
They have one in the Crystal Council meeting that is, I have no idea how old it is, but it's every bit that
Hey, now
thick.
Peggy's
It's
got an old
enormous.
one that's got
Have you seen it?
inches.
No, I ain't seen that one, but Wilbur McKee had two stacks of them up there in his old house.
My.
They was big ones.
There was, yeah, them books are so weird looking.
Oh yeah, back then they was
Mhm.
real weird looking.
Rodney showed me old police reports from the 30s and 40s and these old, like, wood, oddly covered books that open odd. They're just big.
No, before the books, they were scrolls. They were
Yeah.
roll like a rolling
Yeah,
pin.
that was called a
They just-
scroll
Mhm.
back then.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know if that Bible specifically, those big Bibles like that are that big because the print is larger, or is there a limited amount of books? You know, the 66 books in the Bible kind of thing. There's only like 30 or whatever that is, but yeah. It's
No, them had them in there. It just that they had thicker paper and stuff. The one of their papers is like probably 30 of the papers in the Bible now.
Yeah.
Because they just.
And I'm sure it's like larger print, and it's probably like cursive or something.
Mhm.
Is that what
No.
Bibles are?
No, they're
Old Bibles?
They're all printed.
All
They're
print?
they was all printed.
All your Bible is printed.
Oh,
I don't think I've ever seen one with
handwritten, copied. Never seen one like that. I don't know when they started doing that, but yeah, that Bible down at council meetings, I've always got my eye on it.
A nice big Bible was probably ended up laying around the 50s, probably. I used to have one at the house Wilbur McKee wanted, but I think I gave it to him.
I don't know who owns that Bible down there at council, but I do plan on talking to either Tom Collins about it, or if it sits next to Chris Rice and Tom Collins, so it's probably either one of these two guys that owns it, but I don't know who owns it.
Probably the city, because you ain't allowed to sell them. Now, the older Bibles is worth
Mhm.
money now. They can be
Oh
sold.
yeah, if you'd have a
And
real
the
old
Bible
one,
is not to
that'd
be
be
sold.
worth some money nowadays.
I would like to have something like that just because it's old, and that history is so, I think it's important.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, see, back then when we went to school, you know, your handbooks, you had to go with your other book that
Mhm.
you write your answer, and then we didn't have enough money to buy them, so we had to write it all down on a piece of paper
Mm-hmm.
and hand it in.
So what subjects were taught in school when you were in school?
Huh?
What subjects were taught in school? I mean, basically, you've got your math. What else is
There
there?
was arithmetic, English, and geography, and history.
Do you remember anything about geography that is so dramatically wrong today?
I didn't care anything about history.
Yeah,
I
of
didn't
course
understand
not.
all what they did back then.
Yeah.
History or geography, I didn't care anything about either one of them.
Hmm.
It didn't interest me what they did back then. They
Yeah.
don't think
Well,
they
you're-
do for me
yeah.
today.
Well, you're a kid. You don't care about stuff. I was born 5 years ago. Leave me alone.
Well, you're telling about something that happened years ago, and it's hard to comprehend.
As a kid,
No
you can't
electric, no
comprehend.
television, no telephone.
Yeah, like
no
I
cell
said-
phone.
Mhm.
Like I said
I mean-
yesterday, if we was struck right now without electric,
Mhm.
what would you do? Every time electric goes off here, you can't use the TV, you can't use the stove, you can't use lights. What do you do?
Does your phone your phone requires
It
electric
won't work either if the electric's out.
because it's cordless, right? But you can use a
No,
cord
her
phone,
phone's, well, hers phone is through that modem up there.
and that requires electric.
Yeah.
But
But,
one that has
and,
cord
and I
does
got
not
some
require electric.
kerosene lights.
The older dial phone
Mhm.
didn't have to have electric.
Okay.
Back years ago, when we lived on Tunnel Hill Road, there was a party line. It one rang for one house, none that rang twice for somebody else's house, and 3 times for another house, and 4 times at somebody else's house. So you had to go on what ring you got to be answering your phone.
That's insane.
And if somebody's
It's on
on the
the party
phone, you
line.
couldn't use your phone. And they wouldn't get off for you. If you had an emergency phone call, you had a heck of time getting hang up so you could call for help.
You
or
could
whatever.
That is
you could
absurd.
get on the phone and listen to them talk to them,
Yeah.
eavesdrop on them.
Now, was that again like TV without cost? There's no service.
You had to pay for it.
You had to pay for that.
It wasn't like it was
No, it ain't nothing like
today.
it is
You know,
today.
wasn't very
It was
much.
cheap, but back then it was high.
Yeah.
Dollar back then was like you could go to the store for a penny and buy a bag of candy.
Oh yeah, you could buy a pound of soup beans for a dime.
Yeah, but then you had to work hard to get that dime.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't like it's handed to you.
Right.
Grandpa used to hold coal out of his mine up here. $3 a day to take the roads on back.
Wow.
$3.
Oh, is that who mined that up there?
He hauled out
And
the
then-
mine up here.
When our shoes got a hole in them,
Mm-hmm.
we didn't get a new pair. You
Yeah.
had to take them and get them half soled.
Oh,
And that'd
okay.
make them real stiff.
Mm-hmm.
It was so hard to walk in them.
Ugh. Yeah.
Like that. And also, you couldn't just go in your store and go around on the shelf and get what you wanted. You had to ask for it.
Yeah, I didn't know about that because until Jennifer was reading some history with whatever her name is that does I Love Lucy, and back when stores you just went there and they did the shopping for you.
Yeah.
And we
that's what
may
I
have
always-
gone back to that if COVID gets any crazier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or some version of that, anyway. Even though I know you can order food online or by phone and they can deliver it to your door. We've met some people that do that for a living. They say they make good money. I have no idea. Go shopping all day long.
But see,
That sounds boring.
back then, just the man worked. The woman didn't work. Her job was to stay home, take care of the kids, and clean the house. The
Mhm.
man got out and worked and made the job, made the money.
Yeah.
Which and it had to go a lot farther than it does nowadays.
Yeah.
Peggy had it all figured out. They're gonna give me way more food stamps, so she wouldn't me to let her use my food stamps to pay Kathy my food stamps, and because I was getting all my money, that's for me. That ain't for everybody else. Oh, back then there was no such thing as food stamps.
No,
I think that started, what, 76 or something?
I don't know what year.
Is that a Jimmy Carter thing? Jimmy Carter, 76?
No, it started before that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because when we lived over back Rose Farm, you could get.
Yeah, I don't know what year it started, but I thought it was somewhere in that area, but I'm not sure. So what was your wedding like? Tell me about your wedding.
My wedding, that was a very simple wedding. We just went over to, well, what we did, we started that morning to go get her marriage license. You had to get blood work done. And Zepp's car broke down, so we went and got Dad's car, and take his to Logan to get the marriage license. And then we had to come back and we had this man that was a preacher there in Straitsville, asked him how much he charged to marry us, and he laughed. I thought he was going to fall off his chair. I don't charge anything. I said, well, we only got 50 cents. And it was just, we just stood there and got married. Garnet, my sister-in-law, stood with him, and the preacher's son.
Oh, that's right, the witnesses, the
stand
two
by me.
witnesses.
Yeah, you had to have two witnesses. That's all it was to it. And I remember the vow was, till death do you part.
Yeah? How long were you married for?
65 years.
65 years. Yeah, that's a while. Were you ever almost married to anybody else before you came across Leonard?
I never offered to marry
Yeah.
anybody else.
You Jim Hyman.
No, I didn't know.
Well, you probably would have got married.
Well, if he would have married me, I might have, but I told him I was pregnant for Peggy, and he didn't want nothing to do with me.
He was the army was supposed to have killed.
So you got pregnant with Peggy before you got married? Yeah?
Yeah.
Were you married before she was born?
No, I already had her. She was about 2 months old when we got married.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
When did you guys move in together?
Oh, we went together 2 or 3 months.
No, when did you move in to your own address?
Well, we stayed with his mom and dad for a while, and my mom and dad for a while.
Mm-hmm.
And then I told him he's going to have to get a job and get us a house our own. You can't get along in living with somebody else. You can't.
How old were you when you moved into with each other?
I was 18 when I got married.
When you got married? Yeah, earlier we were talking about how different generations and how they parent. Like if you're a strict parent, your kids are going to be liberal. If you're liberal, your kids are going to be conservative. My kids are conservative.
Well, see, back then, you couldn't actually leave or be on your own until you was 21.
Yeah.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, the girl
right
wasn't
about
her
my
own
age.
boss till he's 21.
Who?
A girl wasn't her own boss till he's 21.
Neither was
Dads
a man.
were up and down all the way in the courthouse.
A man
He
what?
wouldn't go sign for money.
That didn't happen until I was about somewhere in a teenager. Before they changed the law that you could be young boss until you 18.
18, huh?
The war is what caused
Kathy
that.
moved out when she was 18.
You could go to the war at 18 or younger, but yet you couldn't buy cigarettes. You couldn't be your own boss until you was 21.
Yeah.
Well, the law used to change that part.
Yeah, but you could buy alcohol at 18.
No, not back then they couldn't.
Oh, really?
No,
Frames, you
was
couldn't buy
underage.
cigarettes or anything.
You was underage until you was 21. You got drunk, caught drinking.
Well, was
back then.
there like a short period of time in the 60s or 70s where you could buy alcohol at 18, then went back to 21? Like 3-2 beer or whatever?
No, they didn't have 3-2 beer back then.
No?
No.
Because I've heard stories about buying, people able to buy alcohol, then you're like late 70s, it went to 21 again. No?
Not that I know of.
Oh.
I never did buy alcohol, so I don't know.
Yeah. It's hard to tell.
I can't
I got-
make out what you're saying.
I ain't got any service out here very well. Here's my daughter.
She little girl.
Yeah.
How old is she now?
14 or 15. 14 or 15, babe.
Oh, really?
Tomorrow is my youngest's birthday. He'll be 14.
Oh, really?
So she will be 15 in next month.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, and so, you know, I don't think makeup is attractive on a woman, so my wife doesn't wear it. Thank God, because that looks ridiculous. And so my daughter doesn't wear it. But when she gets makeup, that's what she does with it.
Oh, she does?
Yeah.
She really does that?
Yeah, she does that regularly. And she's good at it.
Oh. Well, see, my sister used to wear makeup.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then her little girl got to be about 4 years old, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
She goes upstairs and she comes down with makeup on. Madge wanted to whip her.
Mm-hmm.
Mom said, no, you put that on in front of her so she thinks if it's all right for you to wear it, it's all right for her to wear it.
Right,
You ain't
yeah.
whipping her.
No, You can't be a hypocrite.
See, the mother is supposed to be a figure thing for the daughter.
Yeah,
So the daughter watches what mom does.
right. Make sure you're still on camera.
And my mom didn't wear makeup. She didn't wear jewelry. Now, the last year she lived, she did get a watch.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't wear anything like that.
Have you ever
I
had
don't wear
jewelry?
makeup at all.
Have you ever had jewelry?
Huh?
Have you ever wore jewelry?
Yeah, I used
Like
to
a
wear
necklace or
necklaces and I can't stand anything on my ears. I
Yeah.
can't stand earrings.
Any rings ever?
Oh, I had
Bracelet?
I took my wedding ring off because I was afraid my fingers swell and I couldn't get it off.
Oh, is that
there.
why you took that off there?
So I carried it in my pocketbook.
Oh, okay.
Zep didn't buy it when we were first married, but he bought it. You know, it was a wedding ring he bought.
Yeah.
So I'll keep it in my pocketbook.
When did he buy it? How many years after? or
Oh,
whatever?
we lived over at the house when he bought it.
So way a bunch of years afterwards.
Oh, I don't know. We lived there for a good while before he bought it. So I just keep
Any
it.
idea
It never did turn my finger or anything.
Any idea when the ring became a symbol of marriage?
So that's what they claim because there's no ending.
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah, that's why I got the tattoo of Jen, because I don't want nothing on my daggone finger.
Oh, I never knew that.
And on her, rock. Not Rocky, rock.
Oh, really?
That way, I can say, hey, look at the size of that rock.
Yeah, when I picked up the phone and it said Rocky, well, he wants.
Not good. Grab your guns.
He never told me.
And the reason why I went with a tattoo is because of my dad. When he got hurt, as many times as he did, that one time he jumped out the truck and that weld got him, that scares me. So I don't want no...
Well, that is somebody. A woman too got her hair caught in one.
Oh, really?
And yeah,
Man.
it pulled her right into a machine.
Mm-hmm.
She had long hair.
Yeah, I'm not interested in that kind of stuff.
Pulled right into a machine.
Yeah, give me the tattoo. I'm good with the tattoos, but I don't like jewelry.
Mom didn't allow us to write on herself,
Mm-hmm.
so you won't see no writing on me.
Yeah. Yeah, I got a few tattoos, but that part of the end is the painful part, because that's the more tender part of your finger over there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was painful. But then I got Jen there, but wonderful Carl Anders with that old English like print. He says, "Oh, it looks like Glenn." I'm like, "Yeah, you know what, Carl? You can just shut up." Trying to call me gay? I think Glenn is Jen.
Yeah, Mom, she didn't wear makeup. She didn't wear jewelry. She wasn't for anything like that. And Kathy and Debbie don't wear. Now Peggy, she loves the makeup
Yeah.
and stuff.
Now, does Kathy still wear her wedding ring? Or do you know?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I would imagine she does.
I don't know.
I don't think she's interested in like dating or nothing like that, is she?
No, she.
No. I wonder about Charity sometimes if she's going to date again.
Well, like
she's
I
so
told
young.
her one day, she's young and she might want to get married again. I can't see myself with another man.
No. Although it'd be funny just to
It's
get
been almost 5 years now.
it would be funny though if you did just to do the photos and screw with the family.
Yeah.
Almost with a black guy.
She thinks about Jerry Burns all the time.
I don't know whether I could stand another man or
Yeah.
not.
Go after a young one just to
Because
piss
see,
everybody
I'm
off.
not used to anybody telling me what to do now and what
Well, yeah.
not to do.
Yeah, that's a lot of liberty
It's kind
there, a lot of freedom.
fun that way.
Yeah, I would imagine. But similar to you, my entire adulthood has been with the same person.
But see,
So
my
it's
dad,
hard for me to imagine that kind of freedom.
my dad, him and Mom was married 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he was a Christian man,
Mm-hmm.
and who would have ever thought he'd have a girlfriend? So my sister come down one day, and she should have told me to sit down and lay down.
Mm-hmm.
Because what she's going to tell me, I wasn't ready for.
Oh yeah.
Dad's got a girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Run that by me one more time.
Run that by me one more time.
Well, next time she come down, I got some more news.
Yeah.
Dad's getting married. I said, "Oh no, don't tell me that."
Yeah.
I left when she left. I was so heartbroken. I didn't know what to do. And my brother, he comes up. She'll take everything he's got. Us kids won't get nothing. By the time he left, me and him both was crying. But after it all happened, I don't think Dad would live 20 more years if he hadn't got married again.
Yeah.
Because we went down there one day shortly after Mom died, and he was sitting at the table, and he started bawling. But your mom told me something to tell you. You know, to this day, I still don't know what she told him to tell me.
Yeah.
He started crying and he couldn't tell me, and I still don't know.
Huh.
But something she told him before she died, he never could tell me.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it was.
Was that the only time your dad cried?
That when Mom died, that's the only time I've ever seen my dad cry.
Makes you wonder sometimes if I know that there's a definition to love, and it's 3 words: to care for. By the dictionary definition. But each person seems to have their own view on that. Like my in-laws, they fight like Jerry Springer TV show every day.
Really?
Oh, right now they're fighting right now. And
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they're fighting every day. We hear about it every day. It's mind-boggling to me because she, like that one lady we were speaking earlier, like Wilma, it's not a good idea unless it's her idea. And if you try to vary that, then you're going to hear it. You know, she's very narcissistic, bipolar. She needs help. But with me, there's no problems.
Yeah.
We get along great.
Yeah.
You mix in Jennifer or her dad, all of a sudden they're doing something wrong. They're breathing wrong. You know what I mean? It's insane. It's fascinating to me. But what is love? If that's love, from the outside, he's being abused.
Yeah.
Physically, verbally, emotionally, you name it, right? But if you ask him, I don't want to throw away a 42-year-old marriage. That's like I hear what he says, you know what I mean? I don't know exactly what he means in some ways, but what I hear is an alcoholic saying, I've been drinking for 42 years, what are you trying to quit now? Like, you don't see the problem, but I have a hard time understanding your yeah, I don't get it. Like, what are you married for? He's not allowed having anything he wants. He wants a bass boat. He wants to go fishing. Nothing. You know what I mean? Like, he can't do nothing.
Well, you take us. Here lately, before he got real bad, one day he was going to leave. I said, wait a minute. If I'm your problem, I'll step out of the picture and I'll leave. And you stay here.
Right.
Neither one of us left. I was his problem too. I was going to leave, then he didn't want me to leave.
And
One day it tickled me. He said he'd leave, and I thought, I'm just going to leave and go just see what he does.
Mm-hmm.
So he goes out to the door and started walking down the road. I slipped out the door and sat down on a chair to watch him. He kept going down toward Donnie's driveway, and the farther he went, the slower he got. I knowed he wanted me to holler at him.
Yeah.
I hollered, hey, don't you think you ought to come back? He said, what? I said, don't you think you ought to come back? And boy, he whipped around like that. He never did make it in the driveway.
See, those things are confusing, and here's why. Because when you're young, you assume, well, they're older, they got things figured out. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, you ain't got nothing figured out. I tell my kids all the time, do not trust me, I'm an idiot.
One night, he decided to leave.
Mm-hmm.
He got clear down there over that hump, and I couldn't see him.
Mm-hmm.
And it was almost dark. I called Peggy. I said, Peggy, Dad's done out of sight. I can't walk and go find him.
Right.
You come out and just act like he was coming to our house.
Right.
Because other than that, I don't think he'd have got in the car. Here he got down there on the highway, and he thought them cars was going to hit him.
Yeah.
And so he was glad that she come along there. 'Cause he thought he was afraid to even turn around, afraid they was going to run over him.
Oh, my.
He got down there and he couldn't see. But it's funny how he whipped right around. That's why he's waiting on me, so hollering.
Well, yeah.
Don't you want to come back?
It's almost like you got to give him permission not to be stubborn sometimes. You know?
Dad wasn't happy with that arguing with you.
Oh, he loved to argue. Argue was his middle name.
Well, I enjoy arguing, but it must be civil, otherwise it's not going to be entertaining.
But he'd argue over anything.
Well, that's fun to argue over anything.
And another thing, he didn't want to admit he was wrong. He would not admit, no matter how much you proved him wrong.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
I get that. I appreciate being wrong, but I can't be told I'm wrong while you disrespect me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if I'm wrong, I'll admit it.
Well, that's me. He
But
didn't want to admit he was wrong.
You can't tell me I'm wrong and I told you so.
Yeah.
That's kind of like,
Yeah.
I'm wrong. Let me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Don't push it. You'll get me, I'll become Leonard real quick, you know? Yeah. You know, I don't know, the stages of relationships, it can give me anxiety. Like my wife and I, we don't argue. We did the first few years. I think that's just like
You
standard.
said you could get ahead of her, didn't you?
Yeah, we we get along sometimes too well, which was ironically our very first argument was because we were together just maybe a month or a couple of months, and our first argument was me, and I was upset that we didn't argue. So I started arguing because we didn't argue. The very first argument. Yeah, and that's when I drove Dad's, I think that Dodge Ram 50 it was. I ended up punching the side of it because I was so angry because we didn't fight. Yeah, we don't argue now. It's so, and I would like to see that go on forever, but good things don't last forever. So I don't know what will ever, but it gives me anxiety because I would like to see happiness forever.
Yeah.
But I know that's not possible. You know,
Yeah.
there's going to be some bumps along the way. But I think it's good to do.
Well, disagreements is good because disagreements is where you learn that.
Yeah, you learn
But
that.
you don't have to argue about it. You know, or
and that's what we do is when we have disagreement, we try to make sure the kids are around. That way the kids see how
we. That's a good thing too.
This is what you do when you have a disagreement.
See, I've never seen my mom or dad fight. They had a little bit of disagreements, but not to a great big thing.
Right.
But you know, they didn't fight and stuff in front of us kids.
Yeah. We do the same thing, but like there's alcohol involved in like a board game or playing cards or just social. You know, if the kids want to drink, it never bothers me to let them drink whatever and however many they want to drink, but they never drink more than one. So Rocky's now 20, so he'll drink maybe 2 or 3. And I try to put that in them as this is what you do when you drink. That way they have some sort of basis. Because I didn't grow up around alcohol. So my only idea of alcohol was watching TV. So then when I would go drink with my friends, I would be the crazy guy that would get naked inappropriately and be an idiot, you know. I had no idea. I just thought I was the funny guy.
I think everybody could look back when they was young and think how stupid they was.
Oh man, I'm stupid every day.
I mean, I could think of some of the things I did when I was young. I would never do that.
Listen, on love you might find something out.
Oh, I've already found out too much. It's insane. What are you doing? But I mean, there's a lot of what you say makes sense because you said you were the second to youngest of your siblings, right?
To the youngest.
And there's a lot of like psychology behind who you are based on your siblinghood, you know?
Yeah.
If you're the oldest kid, then you got roughly 18 years experience at 18 years old telling other people what to do. So you make a good leader, a good president, a good boss.
Yeah.
Because, but if you're the youngest, you'll never out-intellect the older.
That's right.
So you got to be a good liar, a good entertainer, a good comedian, manipulator, lawyer. Yeah. But if you're a middle person like myself, right in the middle, or even with David, then you could be good at like, a lot of lawyers that way, mediators that way, because you're open to see both sides because you're in between everything all the time, older and younger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, my youngest sister, she was cleaning out Mom's frigidaire one day. Now, this is after she's married and grown up.
Mm-hmm.
Mom come in to help take some of the stuff out of the frigidaire and set it on the table.
Mm-hmm.
And Betty, her name was Betty, my sister.
Mm-hmm.
She told Mom, go in the front room, sit down and shut up, you big baby. I would never say that to my mom. No way.
Yeah, but she probably got away with it more than what you would have.
She would have busted me in the mouth.
Yeah, because the youngest always gets away with a murder.
Yeah.
I have a youngest, I know. His birthday's tomorrow, he'll be 14. Like on kid.
That's what's his name?
Revan. Yeah.
Oh, he's 14. Gonna be 14.
Yeah. Right there in the orange shirt.
Yeah.
And he's already taller than me.
Yeah.
The only person
so.
that's not taller than me is my wife and my daughter.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, you take Wesley's daughter, I'll probably come to her shoulders.
Really?
My grandma hadn't seen her sister since she's 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And she come and knocked on the door. And Grandma said, get up off your knees and come in. She wasn't on her knees. She was. She started crying. She wasn't on her knees. She was standing up. She was only 3 foot something.
Oh my. Of course.
The last time I was measured. I was 4'9".
Oh, really? Wow.
Well, Kathy's, Louie's other wife, she's still alive, and she's shorter than Kathy.
Yeah, Jennifer asked me today. She says, "You going to council meeting tonight?" I said, "Well, I want to, but I'm wanting to go talk to Grandma for I don't know how many months. So before she gets too old, I want to go talk to her."
When you called, I thought, what's he want with me? I looked at the phone. It said, Rocky. What's Rocky want with me?
It's never a good idea when Rocky calls.
Dwayne said yesterday he wanted to come over and see you, but every time he helped Jennifer with the kids, and he don't have time to do stuff. And
Well, you get. I'm 87.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things I could have done I didn't do.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
I was telling, who's that guy, the older guy that had that 2-hour video I sent you? That's a local from here that passed away. Remember that guy I sent you the video of? What's his name? I was telling Grandma about it, but I got internet to pull it up to show her. But
hook up to her Wi-Fi.
you got Wi-Fi here?
She don't pay for it, but she got Wi-Fi. Since she don't pay for it,
Mm-hmm.
she got Wi-Fi. Since she told me to unhook it, now she got Wi-Fi.
We had the same problem with the trash company. 2 years they picked up trash with no money.
It
After we
says
canceled it.
her password is, Eugene Sherrick,
Is that who it is?
And
the one that.
Yeah, that's him right there. I see
Yeah, Gene Sherrick.
oh,
Okay, this is Gene Cherry.
it. Yep, that's him.
Performing resident and now resident of Brooksville, Ohio. Is that true?
we anyhow told this guy to come in.
Her phone number,
740, right?
982.
Well, after he stepped in the door, I knew that one. I couldn't tell Zep that wasn't him because I thought he might hit him or something.
Yeah.
So I just had to go along with him that it was Doug.
Oh my God.
After he left, I said, "Don't you ever offer a stranger in my house again." There was one guy come here one evening right around, I'd say 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
He wanted a drink of water. Well, I got him about 6 different cups of water. Finally, I said, "I'll just bring a bucket out here and you can drink as much water as you want to." That's all I ever wanted was water. Never offered to leave. He would look at you in the face and talk to you.
Yeah.
So I thought, how am I going to get rid of this guy? It was almost dark. I said, I got to go in the house to get something. I come in, called Donnie. I said, "Donnie, there's a man down here and I can't get rid of him." "You think of any way to get rid of him?" He said, "Yeah, I'm going to Zanesville. I'll come down and see if he wants to ride down."
Yeah.
That guy never did figure out that I'd put him up to it. So it was all Donnie took him out of here. Wesley was here, and when I went to come in the door, I tapped him on the shoulder and I said, "Don't leave." It's 'cause I didn't want to stuck here with him.
No, I
myself.
wouldn't. Yeah. That'd be weird. October, November 2019. My in-laws was really getting into it, like, very aggressively. And so I had given that camouflage camera on your couch right there.
Yeah.
I had given him that camera that way because it's small, it's dummy proof, it has one switch on off. And it records for an hour and a half on the battery. And the memory card, you can record up to 18, 19 hours on it. And so I give it to him. I'm like, okay, if she does go and doing something, you can record it, that way we can prove it. Because the idea is we're going to get a restraining order against her and we're going to prove that she's a violent person. So I give him the camera. He puts it on a shelf, and he knows his wife. He just knows when's going to happen. He turns the camera on, you see him walk over to his seat, sits down, turns the TV on, and then it starts. You know, right? Because he's doing something without her permission. He turned the TV on. How dare him, you know? And so I had 20 some odd, 30 some odd hours of video. Now boil it down to the awesome 40 minutes. Just the good parts, you know. And I sent it to the lawyer. The lawyer says, "You don't even need me. Just take that with you." So we got a restraining order. Here is part of that video.
Therapist. You know, you can't bring. You can't. Sit down and talk. What?
Jane.
Oh, yeah, right, Brett.
Hey,
You're right.
Don't be hitting Jane.
It was
No.
me. Sit down and talk.
Let's
Okay, let's see where this goes.
Now, this was we tried doing a family intervention, with her because she's so outrageous, you know. And the only person she respects is weirdly me. But she wanted to give me the time of day, you know. And I was trying to say all the right things, you know, which I do. I love her. I love you. I love my dad. I love everybody. I don't hate anybody, you know. I don't have any hatred in me. And so she wanted to sit down. So and she doesn't know she's being recorded. And by law, I don't have to tell her because Ohio's a one-party consent state, meaning I can record you, but I can't leave a recording and then walk away.
Oh.
Because the person if you're being recorded, one person present must know about it.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm holding my cell phone like this, and as you see, I'm sitting just like this. Actually, the same exact shoe, I think.
Yeah.
And so there she is, being very upset.
Okay. Rock, I can tell you.
Okay, no, if you guys allow...
You know what?
Right.
It's me.
Maybe it isn't.
Not all
We
of
don't
it.
know.
Yeah.
Not all of you.
Not all of it.
Okay, no.
There's some that you got that you...
Of course, you're right. I thought you had to do your fair
Okay,
share.
with therapist.
You know, you can't.
I got back.
Oh, I forgot.
And here's the hidden camera from when it's just him and her.
Yes.
I got back.
Oh, I forgot. You got up and went to the damn work and came home.
What about
And then you said it.
What about all...
Yeah, I've done nothing, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
is.
I like to watch her head move like a snake.
Chubby.
Say it again. I'll hit you right in the fucking
Good.
mouth.
That's the truth. That's what you
No,
said.
no, they don't. That's not true.
How do you know? How do you know?
You, cause you lie.
Yeah, well, what about
You lie like the devil.
That stuff just makes me so... I don't know why I get entertainment out of watching somebody else's drama. But drama is just fun.
It's
just
funny
fun.
to you, but it ain't
Yeah.
funny to them.
But I sit there and I talk to him privately about this stuff, and he's stuck on, I don't want to throw away a 42-year marriage. I'm like, Rick, you never had a marriage to begin with. You describe your wife in the same way that she acts now as she acted 42 years ago. She's never changed. She's not going to change. You're a crazy person for thinking she will change. Yeah, I don't want to throw away. He's like, I don't want to throw away a 42-year-old. Like, so I said nothing this whole time is what we're saying. I don't get it. So if that's love, then what isn't love? I have no idea.
You don't know what
Well, the
love
first time I
is.
met Sharon's Aunt Bonnie and Bob,
Mm-hmm.
I never wanted to meet them again.
Yeah.
You thought they was gonna kill each other. That's just the way they talked.
That's ridiculous.
Well, he died not long after we got married, so I didn't get to meet him again. But that's the way they was. Everything was arguing.
Yeah.
You know.
It's absurd. It's weird.
And just.
I'm not saying it from a judgmental. I don't know if that's right or wrong. I'm just saying that's not for me. That's
Well, like
what
I
I'm
tell
saying.
people about Tommy. If Tommy's yelling at you, he's just talking to you.
Yeah.
You might think he's going to kill you, but he's just talking to you.
Yeah.
I said, so I get that pit bull up there. I turn him loose. You'd swear he's going to kill you.
Yeah.
As soon as he smells you, he's a pussycat.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, Justin describes Tommy the same way.
Yeah.
But when me and Tommy talk privately,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't see that Tommy. He's not aggressive around me. It's real weird. The only time he was is when he and I were in disagreement about George Floyd's death in Minneapolis, and he got excited about that, and I felt awkward with him being excited because he was excited about it.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to be told that he could be wrong.
Yeah.
Because I'm not going to tell you that you're wrong.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that you could be wrong.
Yeah.
And that's my test to see if you're open-minded about the possibility that you could be wrong.
Yeah.
But he wasn't open-minded,
Yeah.
so I didn't want to argue about it.
He won't
But
be
yeah.
open-minded.
Oh,
Never.
well, I try. I
sometimes
try
you call.
hard. I try
Okay.
hard.
What do you want? I'm ready to hang up.
Yeah, I love Tommy. He's a good character, but he
Tommy do anything
frustrates
for
me.
you.
Yeah, he would.
He was.
I would. Yeah, I love Tommy for that. He's so kind in ways that it's to his detriment, where he helps out too many people.
Yeah, he's more like a home person.
Yeah.
You know, he don't get there to run you down and put you down
Right.
what you're doing.
Yeah, but that kind of relationship.
He told me one day, now
That's
if you need
amazing.
any money, don't borrow money off anybody else. You come to me.
Yeah.
I got the money. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That yeah. And even with my mother-in-law, it isn't that she's wrong. It's that I think for some people, and I'm probably wrong with this myself, but she's probably afraid to listen. You know what I mean? I'm not, yeah, right. But I think some people are afraid to listen because they don't want their mind changed because they're right.
Not willing to
right.
change.
Well, whether or not you're willing to change, it's scary to change. No, it is. I'm scared to change, but I know if I don't,
Well,
then I'll
I've changed a lot from what
right.
I was.
And that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really have.
Change is not a good or
When I
bad
was
thing, but
younger,
it can
I
be
just
good.
leave issues look at you.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. She needs help. But anyway, we got the restraining order, and it lasted maybe a week and a half. And then he wanted to go buy a truck for him, something he's always wanted. So we take $15,000 to Akron to buy the truck he wanted. He had it for maybe 3 days because she didn't choose the truck, so he had to give it for free to us.
Oh, really?
So now we have this truck. It's a nice truck. We don't really drive it, but it wasn't her idea, so he wasn't allowed having it. And she didn't want a dime back. She just wanted it out of their name, out of their yard.
Yeah.
It's a 2010 GMC, like one of them Canyon 4-door trucks. It's a nice little family truck, Not new.
Yeah, after I hung up talking to you, I don't know where he's coming in a truck or a car or where he's coming now.
So what did she do? Have to move out or something?
Yeah, she moved out with her mom on the other side of Avondale for those 10, 12 days.
Yeah.
And then he called me up and he says, I miss her. I got to have her back. And we've been spending money.
You don't
We've been spending our money on lawyers to
drive.
set up his own independent bank account, his own way of getting the dual power attorney removed because she had a dual power attorney. She had all this stuff set up to control his life in every way known to man. It was amazing. And that all got reversed when she moved back in. Within the same week, that all got reversed. All of it. The dual power attorney, the same lawyer too. The lawyer's like, whatever, I'll take your money. Fascinating. But she tells me, without Jennifer around, that I need to do that to Jennifer. Get dual power attorney, control her. I'm a dummy. I don't need to control anything other than me, maybe. I need control if anybody does. Oh, she is fanatical about that stuff. But she's got these, we call those, the safes in the bank, the private storage. You know what I'm talking about? The safe deposit boxes.
Yeah.
She's got safe deposit boxes in several different banks and won't tell him where they're located.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's where the money's at. We know that's where the money's at, And so one of the places that she said she later admitted to going to, she rented a heated and cooled storage unit in Columbus to prepare to be homeless. Because she didn't want to spend any of her money. She's okay spending his money, but not her money. Imagine that. You got, 50 grand, but you live in a storage unit, which is illegal, you know what I mean? But it's heating and cold. She thought about that. Because it was November when it happened. But yeah, he took her back. And he calls Jennifer on a daily basis multiple times, usually because he wants help. Because he's being threatened in some way. 2 months ago, she put a needle, because he does diabetes syringes. She put a needle in his straw, in his soda straw. And he didn't know, obviously, and he goes to take a drink of it. During the lift to the drink, she grabs it from his hands, runs to the sink, and he thought that was suspicious, so he followed behind her. And as she's shaking the straw, the needle comes out. You tried to kill me! And I don't think it would have killed him, but it would have definitely sent him to the hospital, you know what I mean? But they're children. It's so funny. It's so funny.
They go back to the second childhood.
Oh my goodness. They are something. I don't get it. I still, obviously I'm talking about it, so I don't accept it either. Which, that's the part that bothers me the most, is I can't accept adults not acting like adults when it's time to act like an adult, you know what I mean? And I know I don't act like an adult all the times that I should, but, I'm not going to provide excuses because I don't like excuses. It is what it is.
Now, let me ask you something. Do you treat your little girl different than the boys?
I treat my boys different than I treat my other boys. I treat all of them differently. And I got
You do?
videos to prove it. Because I've sat down with them like this. And I got their videos on YouTube. And I started doing that February of 2019. So, a year and a half ago, something like that, whatever. And I wanted to discuss with my kids a few things. Bullying in school. Religion, because I've never spoken about religion to any of my kids ever.
Oh, yeah?
No. Or atheism or nothing like
They
that.
don't know what you believe or not believe?
They know because, and I didn't know they knew, but they knew because I've had jokes, and you can see it in the video, especially with my daughter. And I didn't know my kids were being bullied in school because they didn't believe in God, and that's when I discovered that was in the video. And it's amazing what the kids will say if a microphone and a camera's there, as opposed to a private conversation. And that's when I learned there's power in having this stuff, because conversations, they don't happen naturally without it. I've had hours of conversations with my kids. You put a camera there and a mic, they got something to say all of a sudden. And they'll put their phone down, which is not good or bad, but it's a tool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so I had to, talk to my daughter about it. And so I don't, there's something else I don't do. I never give my kids or try to give anybody ever advice, because my advice isn't your advice. Instead, if I have an agenda or if I want to push you in a direction, I'll try to give you questions that would give you a train of thought in a direction and let you find it. So that's how I deal with my kids, and you can see that in the video, especially with my daughter. Because my daughter is the most, she has questions. She acts too much like me, yeah. And so she was telling me that she had been bullied in school because she doesn't believe in this God thing. And that's how she described it, And she's like, well, the guy died a long time ago. Why does it matter now? And all this stuff. And so I'm just letting her go on and go on. And so I phone out and asked her, I said, do you know what God is, or who that is, or whatever? And no, I just know he died a long time ago. I said, do you know who Jesus is? Same God, right? I said, no, not the same guy.
No,
And so I didn't explain it because she didn't care, And so I wanted to show that, because I'm sure outside of my circle of people who know me, that it could be easily assumed that I teach my kids not to believe or whatever, because I do have biases, right? I think we all do. But when she started talking about the bullying in school and the friends she has lost, it was sad, but she's learned from it, not to judge herself.
Well,
even.
that's how you learn sometimes, through something
And
like that.
one of the things that really gave her a moment to think was she had to rescue her Christian friends, her female friends, from inappropriate behavior with boys. And I didn't know that even took place. We've talked about this off camera 1,000 times, but never, now the camera, now you don't talk about it. So one of the girls that she was friends with, that would not like her back the same way because of the God thing, which I don't understand that. But anyway, they're kids. They don't need to be understood. She was wanting to show her boyfriend her breasts. And my daughter's like, you don't do that. That's just something you don't do. So I had interrupted my daughter. And I said, where did you learn that from? Because I want to know, because I don't teach her that, you know what I mean? I would love to take credit, but I'm, not deserved, so I'm not going to take credit. And she's like, dude, you just know that. So later, but then during that conversation, Revan was sitting on the couch behind the camera, and you hear him in the background, can I be next? So then I knew everybody wanted to be on camera with that, and they got something to say. And so then I got the rest, Brian and Revan on camera, and then they talked, but my daughter, she's a goofball. Yeah, but with that conversation, I learned so much about my kids that I would have never learned without a camera.
Well, when I was a teenager, I wanted to know anything. I didn't go to Mom because she was the kind gal that shut up. So I'd go to my sister Madge and she'd tell you anything you want to know.
Oh, really?
Even things you didn't want to know. And so I used her as my tool. If I needed to know anything, I did her. See, my oldest sister, I found out the wrong way that she was my half-sister.
Oh.
My dad was talking to his boss one night, and his boss said, "Ray, how many kids do you have?" I had 10, my wife had 11. But that went through me like a dart. He had 11, you know, she had 11, he only had 10. Well, I go in the house, ask Mom, "Get out of here, shut up." Couldn't learn anything from her, so Madge is my answer.
Yeah.
That's how I found out that she was just my half-sister, but I didn't know which half was her.
Right.
If she's a half-sister, which
goodness.
half is
Well,
my,
that's a hard
my
concept
sister.
to understand when you're a kid. And then my Reverend, he wanted to go see what the council meeting was about. Because they've all been to him, but they're curious why I'm curious. So Reverend goes with me to the original council meeting. And he sits on that side of the gymnasium with this camera and this setup. And I'm on this side of the council meeting with this camera and this setup. And he texts me, whatever it was, an hour and a half into the meeting. Before the crazy hits. But still, if you're not used to it, it seems crazy the whole time. Because they're so insane. So irresponsible adults running the government, you know. And he texts me, he says, "Dad, this is war." I'm like, "You ain't seen nothing yet. This place is crazy." That place, man, they need help. Yeah, it's recorded. Yeah, that original council meeting. And you know, this last one I recorded, it's got 1,000 views within 2 days. Which is uncommon, you know what I mean? Usually I'll have like 20 views within a day. You know, but that Roseville thing, they got problems.
Yeah, with my mom,
Well, I started watching on Facebook the other night, and it went on and on and on, that meeting. And finally, I ain't got time to sit here all night and nothing's going to happen. So I just never click back on it.
The Roseville one? Yeah, the
Yeah,
beginning is pretty slow because they go through agendas.
Yeah.
And then once the public gets involved, about an hour and a half in, that's when it starts, people act silly. But watch that first one. You're crazy. Of course, I don't, like when I publish that stuff, I publish it because I take my news part serious. So I don't publish anything. Once they drop the gavel, that's the end of the meeting. But sometimes I'll put the video up afterwards, but no, I wouldn't put it on my news stuff.
Yeah.
Because it's not news related. Because I don't like how we have, like, American news is all about drama.
Yeah.
My news, or Kirksville News, Perry County Press, I take it very serious. If it can't help you in some way, then I'm wasting your time, and I'm wasting my time.
Right.
Because I don't do drama. That's the only reason why I didn't cover Justin's fight with the cops down there. Yeah, that'd be awesome news. I get clicks, but I'm not here for clicks. I'm here to help my community the best way I know how.
Yeah, but there would have been proof on it that what he needed of what happened that night. They could have lost the tapes of it.
I've got the video.
You got the proof video from the beginning to the end, or what?
Oh no, I've got the 2 videos that came out.
Tommy was looking for
I
one of
know,
them
he's looking for another one.
that they claim they got, but they can't find it.
Yeah, as soon as those videos became publicly available, I downloaded them immediately. That way I had my hard copy and it can't be removed.
Yeah.
The way I was brought up to always think Mom and Dad wouldn't lie to you.
So of course, I think we all think that too.
Whatever they tell you
Yeah.
is the truth.
Yeah, I tell my kids regularly, do not trust me when I say something. Google it.
You know,
Because
some
I don't
things-
know the truth.
some
Sometimes
things
I'll
you
just speak out of my rear
don't
end.
want
You know?
to tell them everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a difference between telling the truth and learning to keep your mouth shut.
Yeah,
and
right.
What you do tell.
Right.
Some things you don't tell the truth on. You just don't elaborate on it.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
because you could. That's like with Debbie. She believes that you tell the truth no matter what. No, you don't. You don't tell something that's going to hurt somebody.
Right.
That's
and
right.
Unless
Like-
you know how to candy code over to
Right.
get them to understand.
Yeah, that would be wrong.
Yeah.
I would say always be honest, and that way, if you're not ready for the information, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah,
I'm not going to tell you, and here's why.
that's right.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Like I tell people, when I counsel somebody, I might use their story to somebody, but I will not tell their name.
Yeah,
tell
you
their
don't-
name.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
use
you
it
can
as
do
a
that too.
illustration, you
Right.
know.
Not use names.
Yeah, you don't identify somebody when you're, because that's not the point. The point is
No.
the point, not
Yeah.
the person. Yeah.
Well, I expect everybody to get up there and
And it ain't always right to tell everything you know. Sometimes things
Yeah.
better off
wouldn't
not
take
said.
long to tell you, and I don't know much.
Get that phone, Donnie. Answer if you want to.
This is Joann.
Hello. Yeah.
Hey, your voice sounds funny tonight.
Watching your mother and rocking. Yeah. You might want to come over and listen because
This ain't a family reunion.
oh, you wait till the interview. Here's Mom. I gotta go. Okay. I'll see you later.
Who is it?
Kathy, your second daughter.
Hello?
I'll see you later too.
Love you.
Yeah?
I love you too.
Take care of yourself.
You look different.
Huh?
Last time I saw you, you look different, man.
No, I haven't heard a thing.
Yeah, David finally put a
Oh, was she?
exhaust on his red truck.
Oh, okay.
And
Oh, I
What's the
forgot
best
what
thing
day he
to
said she's supposed to have
Just
it.
had the money and wanted to do it or something.
and he does.
Well, I've been home
he
all
does.
day and he never called me.
He's hard set. He got things figured out, man.
If I stay out of that park.
Wait till I ask him.
You'll live longer that way.
Kathy wants to know if you're going to stay all night with me.
How dare you judge me for that?
Did you hear him? Him and Donnie's both been here for hours. We've been talking about different things, and he's took videos of me and everything.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, we are. This is a lot of fun talking about different things. Yeah. And not too much about him, but about everything else.
The early days where Grandma was more ornery.
You hear that?
Yeah,
Tell
yeah.
Peggy that. Okay. Bye. Yeah, she wonders if I heard anything about Tommy. That girlfriend Tommy's got, she's supposed to have a baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's due today.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Yeah, he wouldn't know. She wanted to know if Tommy had called me today, and I said, no, I've been home all day.
Here's what
So-
my wife's newest hobby. Let me show you my wife's newest hobby. She went out on a boat ride the other day and
Oh,
took
really?
that photo. Her newest hobby is painting. She really loves to paint.
Oh, I
Here's
wish I could paint.
Here's what she painted just a few hours ago after I showed up here.
Oh,
And she's not done
that's
yet.
good, ain't it?
She is really good about doing that stuff, but she's trying to recreate
Huh.
that same photo.
Well,
And I'll tell you what, she makes
Now,
money
my brother-
doing. Now she
uh,
makes these for Halloween,
oh,
and she makes money selling those.
huh.
But
My brother, like, he painted all kinds of stuff.
yeah, she likes painting all kinds of weird stuff like that. Oh, David. Let's see. Here is my daughter and I.
All right. Have you experienced bullying in school?
No, but I've helped.
You've helped out bully people.
No.
That's how my conversations are.
You see that microphone here?
It was a fish.
Yeah.
I'm just focusing.
I can clearly tell you ADD.
Yeah. So yeah,
Well,
I
I had-
re-edited it and put it back up, but
I had a girl that kind of bullied me. The only coat I had, it had rained, and she come up behind. We had to stand and wait an hour or so for the bus at night after school.
right.
Well, she come up and lunged up against me, and I slid right down the bank. Mud. I got on the bus, and my coat was nothing but mud.
Wow.
Madge, my sister, what happened to you? And I said, Waveline come up behind me and knocked me down. Boy, she went over back there to her and shook her finger in her face. If you ever as much as touch my sister again, you've had it. You
Man.
better lay off now. That girl never did touch me again.
What was it about? Do you remember what it was about?
No, I was just standing there waiting for the bus, and she just come all at once, knocked me down, and I'd have done nothing. If I'd have done something, I'd probably turned around and socked her one, but
Yeah.
I wasn't doing nothing.
Yeah,
Of course she did.
Yeah, bullying is one of those things I wanted to discuss with my kids to see what kind of bullying exists, because we hear about stuff in the news, but you don't know what to believe in the news. You know what I mean? And so I was surprised that my kids experienced bullying, because I try to provide them with tools where they would not have to deal with bullying. Tools like knowing how to brush something off and know not to take everybody serious, kind of thing, and understanding other kids, especially in your age group, is going through changes with hormones, and so you're becoming insecure about things you've never been insecure about. So a bully will project their insecurities onto you, much like my mother-in-law does at age 60, whatever. And it's not to be taken personally when someone does that. And so when it's most bullying that I would experience, for me, I laugh at, because I think it's more funny. I don't take offense to much of anything. And people regularly tell me, call me toothless, or says the guy with the new teeth, and that's like their best way of insulting me. What's funny about that is no one knows that my kids and my wife regularly say that to my face in humor. Regularly, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because we're being funny. We're funny. We're silly people.
I like to be funny, too.
And so, also with that, one of my ideas in parenting is to give you the tool, right, to understand how to take a bully. Is I regularly tell my kids to their face, "You're a faggot. You're a queer." In a joke,
really?
in a joking manner.
Oh, in a joking manner.
And also, every day we're doing this to each other, every single day.
I never allowed my kids to do that.
And so what that does is if they call me because they're upset, I know now with these things in place, something actually happened.
Yeah.
As opposed to they call me, someone called me ugly. Well, get over it. You know what I mean? So here is a photo from August 18th of Ryan. Middle finger, right? I don't know how many other photos I got like that, but my wife regularly.
Oh, really?
And I don't see that as a sign of disrespect, because I have 284 videos on YouTube of me giving middle fingers to cops, right? Using that camera over there. And I regularly give middle fingers to cops. It's not a display of hatred. It's not a display of disrespect. I just want to see if you're a bitch. Because if you're a bitch, you're going to pull me over and tell me you're a bitch.
Oh.
And I've had that happen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My most popular video on YouTube has got close to 600,000 views. It's pretty popular. And it's of a state trooper in Illinois that pulled me over because of the middle finger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And I got, I don't advise anybody doing that unless you know how to talk to a cop. Because it's very dangerous to talk to a cop. Especially if you're a collar, for example. But if you're white, you're generally safe, but you're still in danger, right? Because they can still write you up for all kinds of shit. So one of the things I learned talking to a cop is never answer any questions. Never. I don't care what it is. Just don't do it. And the only response you can give a cop is two things. I'm going to exercise my Fifth Amendment right and not say anything. That's a safe one. Or ask questions. No matter what they say to you, ask them the question.
Yeah.
right? So one of the things that he has said, because I have this camera mounted in my semi-truck, and I got it pointed directly at him, and he's past your door. And he says, so why'd you give me the middle finger? I said, why'd you pull me over?
Oh.
And then he says, what was the gesture of the middle finger? I said, why'd you pull me over? And because of the conduct, no curse words, because of the conduct and the respect, people found that fascinating, that I did not get in trouble at all.
Huh.
And I run this by my boss to make sure that I'm not going to be in trouble when it comes to my job. And my bosses, they support everything I do. And they know I'm also a silly person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, you're taking your chances, obviously. You know what I mean? Because the cop can write you up for anything, and it's up to you to prove you didn't do it, which is bullshit. You're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty in this country, but that's the Sixth Amendment, and no one knows what the fuck that is. Yeah, but you gotta know how to talk to a cop to do that kind of stuff. So when it comes to my kids, I try to show them this is how we act. And that way, if someone calls you fat, ugly, four eyes, or whatever, you're not going to cry about it.
Yeah.
Because if you are, we need to talk about it.
The way I did my kids, I didn't allow them to make fun of anybody with the fat or they walk funny and
Oh, okay.
stuff like that, because you teach them that when they're little, they'll know better when they get older not to do things like that.
Well, with our kids, we make fun of anything and everything we can at any chance we get. And what's weird to me...
In a way, that's fun.
Yeah, it is. But they also know the time and place for it.
But the other
Right.
might not take it as fun.
But here's what shocked me.
Yeah.
Right? Here's what shocked me. One day, when Rocky was in school, he had brought home a friend. And he wanted to stay all night. And he was deaf.
Oh.
I had no idea Rocky had disabled friends. And so Rocky had learned without telling us that he knew sign language. So he's with his friend just doing all this.
And you didn't.
And I have no idea. I'm like, are you talking about me? You know what I mean? So anyway, so that happened. And now Ryan, my second boy, probably the most aggressive when it comes to middle fingers and calling faggot and calling toothless and all that. Almost all of his friends are of that, where they're mentally, not there or whatever, they're in need. And I'm like, I've never talked to him about it. I've always wondered, what makes you want to be so kind and helpful to others?
Some people's like that.
Yeah. Now, it's clearly...
You take Tommy. I think he'd do anything for you.
I think he would too.
I really
Tommy
do.
is very, very kind-hearted. I just don't know what it is. What is it? Something that is it nature or is it nurture? And I don't know. I don't know if anybody knows, but clearly, by me allowing my kids to be as open as possible, doesn't seem to make anything bad that I'm aware of. My kids are pretty good, which is so strange. I don't deserve it. I don't, but my kids they're so wonderful. Wonderful
I think a parent ought to be this way. Like if a kid's got a problem, it might be a sexual problem, and they need an answer.
Yeah.
And you want to tell them honestly what about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of putting them down.
Well, you don't have a choice. You have to either be honest about it, or you have to tell yourself, I'd rather them learn from other morons at school.
Yeah,
and you don't want that to happen.
Somebody else might go to somebody else for the answer.
Right. And it may not be a correct answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a recent conversation with my daughter about things that she didn't know about like STDs, for an example, that there's no cure for, like herpes or whatever. And I don't think she was aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, this is why we're protective over girls more than boys, because...
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, she's susceptible to it much more.
Well, here's a problem that's hard to answer. When girls get to teenagers, they're going to get a boyfriend. And you got to worry about them getting pregnant.
Right.
Or you use the thing so they can't get pregnant.
Right. Yep.
So which are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Which would really be right.
Right.
And in a way, you're telling us go ahead and have sex. if you get the shot so they can't get pregnant.
Yeah, I don't.
In
I don't,
a
yeah.
way, that's the safest way.
Yeah, it is. Well, I wouldn't say it gives you authorization or permission or opens you up to have sex. It's like car insurance. It doesn't give you permission to crash your car. It's protection for you in the event that you do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I see it.
Now you think I did have the kind of parents or mother anyhow that I would have went to her and asked her if I could have had something to keep from getting pregnant. Ain't no way. The mom I had, you wouldn't want to ask her anything like that. She'd probably backhand you right in the mouth.
Yeah.
I called her mother one time and she smacked me right in the mouth.
Mother?
Yeah, my brother's wife always called her mom mother. Whenever they'd eat dinner, as soon as dinner was over, I got to go see mother.
Yeah.
She always called her mother, not mom or mommy. I got to go see mother. So I thought, well, I'm going to see what mom would do if I call her mother.
Right.
And boy, I called her mother out. Wham! She took me right in the mouth. You think I'd ever call her mother again?
Wow, that doesn't seem disrespectful at all.
You know, to me, that wasn't very much respect.
Yeah.
Because I was trying her out to see what she'd do if I called her mother. I never did call her mother again.
I guess if it's never happened, it would be a drastic change in how you address someone, right?
Yeah.
From mom to mother.
Yeah.
You know, it's only confusing because looking at it from modern times, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But it is, if
Yeah.
you're not used to it, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when your kids call you Joann for the first time. It's like, I'm your mom, motherfucker. You're gonna call me Joe. Get the fuck out of here.
What'd you call me?
Motherfucker, you don't pay my taxes. What the fuck you doing? Call me Joanne. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know how old I was when I first learned your name was even Joanne. And
Oh,
you have a hard time
I
concepting
remember.
that. Yeah?
You as a kid, you come running down the driveway.
Uh-huh.
Somebody called, that's where I got a phone.
Uh-huh.
And you wanted to know who Bonnie Chevalier was. they asked for Bonnie and you didn't know my first name was Bonnie.
Yeah.
I can still hear you come down the driveway. Do you know who Bonnie Chevalier is?
Oh, that is so funny. That's so funny.
Zeph's sister had a girl named Bonnie Chevalier, and I went to the doctor one time, and they got my report out, and they said, when did you weigh 83 pounds? I said, probably in the 6th grade. Here it was her daughter, Bonnie.
Oh, really?
They looked at my body. When did you only weigh 83 pounds?
My lord. Oh, my lord. Well, we were talking for 3 hours, you know. You believe that? 3 hours.
Yeah, Kathy said, Rocky's still there.
I've got you accosted. Well, one of the podcasts I listen to, almost every single one of the podcasts is a 3-hour podcast. And the podcast is just 2 to 4 people having a conversation on camera. And time flies by if you have a good conversation.
That's what I like to do, and that's what I didn't know the preacher did it. The preacher watches people's face as he preaches.
Yeah.
The expression on their face.
My wife has got the greatest face for facial expressions. Oh, I love her facial expression. And I'll say what I can
Doug
to her.
Gary. Doug, if he does something, he can just look at you right straight in the eye and lie right through them. And Gary, the look on his face tells he's guilty.
Oh, yeah. Here's Jennifer when she was power washing our sidewalk, and she missed the sidewalk and hit the mud that came back up in her face. And I was recording it, and she's like, "You're gonna put those on Facebook, aren't you?" I'm like, "You're damn right I will." Then here's us at a Halloween party at Carl's. She got the cigarettes not lit. She was doing it for the photo.
Oh.
And I wore that because that's the Dumb and Dumber costume.
Oh.
And then, I don't know if you remember that TV show or not, but that's Lizard Lick Towing. That was on TV where they would repossess people's cars. They were in Michigan. Yeah. And my wife's a big fan of the show, so she went up there to get a photo with them.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. And then we had someone who threatened our family here recently, so we went out and got Jennifer a gun.
Yeah.
We were practicing shooting that way she could have the middle finger. Yeah. I love that stuff. I just
You know,
find
I
it
like to do
good.
things like that. You know, that's all right. You know, that's not nothing dirty about it or anything
No,
like that.
Because there's no reason to be offended
Well,
over something
I did
like
one
that.
thing one time, and I didn't know what it meant. I was singing a song, something about a hoochie coochie dance, and I didn't know what a hoochie coochie was. And Mom said, "Of course, I don't ever want to hear you say that again." What is a hoochie coochie? I didn't know what it was. Well, after she said, "Don't do it again," I went out.
You
What it was.
Oh my lord. Oh my. Yeah, that would be confusing if you didn't know, but yeah. Sometimes the kids especially when they're younger,
Yeah.
they'll say or do something and they won't understand what
Yeah.
they're saying or doing. Is like, okay, you don't do that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, same kind of thing. Yeah, that's funny. Well, I might call it quits after 3 hours. Good lord. What time is it? I think I charged this phone
It's
during
almost 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock already? Oh my god. Yeah, council meeting was over 2 hours ago. I normally go to that thing, but I'm like, I'm gonna skip back. I'm gonna go talk to Grandma. I ain't seen her since that funeral of Kendall. Is it Kendall?
Is that what it was?
Yeah. Okay, would you be willing to have this conversation again on camera?
If something good to talk about.
I'm sure there will be, because you're...
I don't want to talk about anything filthy.
Yeah, but we barely touched your life. There's a lot more there that we could probably discuss. So, other than that, see you next time. Good? Awesome.